We welcome you back to the Field House for night number 3 of this 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament. Joe Northern with you here. I'll be joined by Scott Cruz coming up at the top of the hour for a consolation doubleheader tonight. We started off with Dexter and Poplar Bluff, and then in our second game tonight, we'll have New Madrid County taking on Kennett. But to tell the story of how we're going to set up tonight, we have to talk about what happened last night in a very exciting triple header across the board in a low-scoring affair where there were no points in the first 2 minutes, and again, 19-13 going into the half. Notre Dame eventually found the hot hands they needed to get into the bucket and did so over Poplar Bluff, 41-37, led by Brett Dohan. So the Bulldogs will be taking on another form of Bulldogs in Sikeston tomorrow night. That'll be at 6 p.m. And again, the big story of that one is Dexter did a very good job holding Sikeston on defense for the first quarter and a half, but then the Bulldogs just proved to be too powerful, too quick, and especially in the debut of Marquel Murray, putting up 16 points in his debut as a Sikeston Bulldog. So that'll be your matchup on Thursday night. And in the late game window, the Kennett Indians down by as many as 16 points, benefiting from the hot hand of Dyson Watson and Antonio Flakes, getting a big win over Charleston, 77-74, and earning a spot to play the 3 games in 3 nights. Dexter also earning that distinction, but doing so on the loss. So that sets up for our matchups tonight in the consolation bracket, starting with Dexter and Poplar Bluff. And one big key star that we saw actually came from the coach's family in his sons. Brendan and Sandy Durden both leading the way in the Mules in scoring last night, but also, too, just a lot of intensity coming in from a Mule squad that can trap opponents, especially on the double team. That could pose some issues for John Sepulveda and company. But then again, when you have Coach Chad Allen and a strong, stout defense that the Bearcats have been really known to break out at times, this could be one of those situations where you could see maybe a first to 50 or 55 gets the job done here. Then in our second game, a new-look New Madrid County that played Jackson all the way to the brink on Monday night, but falling just short, is going to have to take on a very resurgent Kennett team that, again, just finds a way to stay in there. And if you really look past an opponent, Kennett will find a way to say, no, not today, by getting a ton of quick steals against some of the taller guards. So really, it's going to be defense all around this evening, but how can you benefit with your sharp shooters? So think about those going into our doubleheader here tonight. When we come back, we'll set it up to the broadcast booth as I'll talk with Scott Cruz and his Coach's Corner keys to the game coming up. Enjoy night 3 of the 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament right here at Aycorp Sports.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality.
Life can be a little hectic when you're always in motion. Don't you wish you had a bank that could keep up? First State Community Bank's digital banking is the perfect companion for your fast-paced everyday life. Whether you're looking to review your full financial picture or just wanted a quick glance at your balance, First State Community Bank keeps you connected to your finances, all while juggling your daily activities. Download the app today and bank in motion with First State Community Bank's digital banking.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $6.99. Mix and match any two full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any two plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
At Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us be a part of your family and for trusting us with the ones you love the most. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of those lifelong memories. Thank you for taking us on the job and for putting us to work. Thank you for choosing us for your first vehicle and for every vehicle after. Thank you for trusting us for 70 years.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
Do you need personalized merchandise? Trying to celebrate the season of that big state run? Then Juju Promotions in New Madrid has you covered. Whether it's heat presses, screen printing, or embroidery, we always have an option that will leave you satisfied and looking your best. With seasonal styles and plenty of accessories, there's something here for everyone. So come in and shop around. You'll be welcome with a smile and leave more fashionable than ever. Call us at 573-748-4040 or visit us in New Madrid.
We're right here at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on world-famous Beale Street, and as you can see, oh my gosh, we have the best barbecue ribs in Memphis. Oh my gosh, the gumbo is out of this world, but you gotta try the King's Triple Decker Slam Burger. You'll love it.
NextEra Energy Resources is the world's largest generator of renewable energy from the wind and sun, and a world leader in energy storage. Since 2016, NextEra Energy Resources has invested more than $339 million in Missouri to fuel local economic growth. Today, our company owns and operates one wind energy facility in the state and is looking to invest even more in the Show Me State. We are committed to being a trusted community partner and look forward to providing affordable, clean, renewable energy for generations of Missourians to come.
My name is Kevin Rossville. I'm a farmer from Prairie County, Arkansas. Been farming since 1991. Started farming with my father-in-law when I got married. We've been raising rice ever since. We've all been looking for something for a change for years. And I think this 263L is going to be the next and up-and-coming thing for us. It's really going to work well on a lot of different ground and a lot of different farms around here.
Dynagro 263L, available exclusively at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care while making our patients feel welcome in our warm and friendly atmosphere. With locations throughout Southeast Missouri, we provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to anyone and everyone that may need it. Visit SEMO Health Network for your wellness exams, COVID and flu vaccinations, lab services, dental exams, counseling, and more. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
In football, every play starts with one goal: protect the ball. It takes strength, teamwork, and focus to keep it safe. At First State Bank and Trust, we protect what you worked hard for, your finances. With us, you'll have a team that's always alert, keeping your money safe from every angle, through every challenge. We're here to protect your finances, because at First State Bank and Trust, your financial security is our game plan. First State Bank and Trust. Strong, secure, trusted. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
We do things the right way, we do it honestly, and we do it well. We go to trial with confidence that in Southeast Missouri, when we work hard and we do a good job of presenting the case to the jury like we know we can do, justice will be done and the client will be taken care of. If you need someone to represent you at trial, call Cook Barquette Ponder & Walls.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
We welcome you back. Tip-off approaching between the Bearcats and the Mules here. Consolation semifinal number 1 of 2 here tonight at the Fieldhouse. Joe Northern along with the coach, one-time coach of the Cubs, the Royals of Twin Rivers, and the New Madrid County Eagles. Also philanthropist, content creator, everything you can imagine under the sun. Scott Cruz, welcome up to the booth. We've got 2 great matchups tonight and really 2 great teams that I kind of feel like it might be a defensive juggernaut tonight.
Yeah, you got to almost expect that, Joe. It's great to be with you. It's great to be doing these games tonight. I expect to see some close contests. You got Poplar, Bluff, and Dexter, who's just really both trying to salvage something positive out of the week, I would say. Dexter did get that play-in game victory. The Mules lost a low-scoring contest to Notre Dame. Both teams, would sure love to play one more night here, I know. And Brendan Durden led the Mules in scoring night, in that loss, I guess you'd say 18 points. Bearcats played a tough Kennett team, beat them, and John Sepulveda's led them in scoring both nights.
Absolutely. And one of the things that I was impressed with Dexter last night, the way they were able to contain Sikeston for just a second, which, I mean, many people expect that. You look at the score, 79-37. Yes, that's a loss, but if you watch, really, it doesn't feel like a 42-point loss to the Bearcats. Taking that momentum into a Poplar Bluff team that can really trap you day in and day out, what do they need to do to try to shut down the dueling Durdens, if you will?
Yeah, they want to play like they did in the first half, and again, that gave me hope for them as well as other teams in this tournament, the way they played Sikeston in that first half. But Sikeston's just so loaded. So obviously I think Dexter just needs to take care of the ball, play with fundamentals, maybe make some extra passes, and try to contain these Mules.
Well, we can tell you, out of all the games of the SEMO Conference tournament, 5 out of 6 so far have been within 2 possessions. Man. Will that continue into tonight? We'll find out. We'll have your starting lineups coming up in just a moment.
Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality. So starting lineups getting introduced for both sides of the squad. No real changes between the two. At least 4 starting lineups for Coach William Durden's squad. Leading off with number 1, Markel Hurd. Number 2, J.R. Lathan. Or number 3, I beg your pardon, Jay Edmondson. Number 4, Dallas Williams going to get the start. He had a great night, especially in the defensive front, with 3 blocks on the record for him. Number 30, Brendan Durden, and number 34, Sammy Durden, going to be lining out the lineup for the Mules again. 1 and 2 on the season, looking to try to go 500 against the Dexter Bearcats. A very defensive-minded team, as you see, only allowing 55 points a game, but scoring 55 a game. As you see there, starting the lineup coming in. Tucker Temple's wearing number 3. Number 5, Elijah Abraham. Number 13, Will Geatley. Number 14, John Sepulveda. Devin Turnbow wearing number 24, the wide receiver getting the most points last night, and 9 for the Bearcats. Coached by Chad Allen, assisted by Rob Nichols and Tony Webb. So again, it's going to be one of those interesting matchups where it feels like defense is really going to be the key at the end of the day. Anything else you're really looking forward to in this matchup?
No, I haven't seen Poplar Bluff play. With Dexter, I'm anxious to see if they can just hit some shots on offense, play solid defense and rebound. Sometimes rebounding is a challenge for them, and I think they're going to have to do that tonight. And it's really going to be fun to learn a little bit about Poplar Bluff tonight.
Absolutely, the Bearcats only 19 rebounds last night in the loss against Sikeston. Poplar Bluff only picking up 29 in the loss against Notre Dame. We're underway. An immediate travel call going to be picked up against Turnbow. As you see, the Bearcats going to be in the home white uniforms with the Bearcat letters and black and red trim. Poplar Bluff going to be in the away maroon uniforms, white trim and white numbers. And bringing it up now is Edmondson. Kind of a little bit of a spark plug for this Poplar Bluff team. Gets this high out to Williams, way off the mark. And back in the hands of the Bearcats. And again, what we know about this Bearcat team is that they're a very defensive-minded team. And whenever you hear the words board play, foreplay, you know you're going to have to try to find a way to pick at the offensive power no matter what.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it looks like Poplar Bluff's going to pick up full court and really pressure, so we'll have to handle that real well if you're Dexter.
And Poplar Bluff, they did, again, one of the big things, you're going to see a little bit of that 2-2 trap. But every time, if you get a little bit of that elbow in the inside, as called by the referee in Bob Godwin, you're going to get that every time at the end of the day.
Yeah, it looks like Poplar Bluff's going to come out really aggressive, but, you know, you just, when you take it that far, you're just going to have to call those fouls. And so hopefully they can kind of contain some of that aggressiveness.
And there's some aggressiveness right there. J.R. Lathan, turnover into points.
Could have been and one there, and Dexter's going to have to take care of the ball better than that.
Absolutely. Again, a team that likes to be controlled in their possessions, but are going to have to try to fend off against the full court press, something that we haven't seen them do well against as it stands in this season thus far. Again, double pressure coming now on Geatley. Geatley trying to get away from Lathan. Lathan driving up on the outside, finds Turnbow. Turnbow gets it out to Temples. Bluff doing a great job settling in a little bit of kind of a combo man zone, it appears. Now finding Ibrahim.
Their help side defense is great right now, and if you'll see how far Dexter's pushed away from the rim, it's pretty impressive right now, the pressure Bluff's putting on them.
Protecting the paint like it's nobody's business. Here's Turnbow now. Gets it over to Williams. Sets it again for Temples. Fakes. Gets on the left side. Now finds Turnbow, I beg your pardon. Couldn't get it to go. Ibrahim can't get it up, but a whistle going to be called against Williams. Already 3 team fouls for Poplar Bluff early. And exactly the start of your Dexter, because you know you have some strong free throw shooters waiting in the wings.
Yeah, Ibrahim's been a great addition to this squad. A sophomore, he looks better every time out, I believe, and nice looking free throw that didn't go down.
And the sophomore who has really been kind of the spark plug too, and many people had questions about this Bearcat team coming into this season, thinking, okay, how long will it take for the team to rebound quickly from obviously from football and fall activities? And the answer is it seems as if fairly quick. Edmondson throws that up, he can't get it to go.
Yeah, you know, you forget about that. They've only had limited practice, so I forget about that. I forgot about that at their home opener, watching them against Charleston, and so they really are improving each time out.
And importantly, getting a conference win to open up the season too. Something we haven't seen in quite some time from this Bearcat team, but now winning against Charleston back-to-back seasons to open it up. Poplar Bluff, same thing though. This is only their 4th game of the season, beginning their run last week on the schedule as it stands. High shot off the mark, picked up and again from Sepulvedo. Again, it's been the offensive power, but this is awfully looking like our first game going to be one of those defensive struggles where you have to think maybe first to 50 might win it. 2-2 the advantage. We'll get another whistle.
Yeah, referee's calling it really close right there, but it does look like both teams are going to have to in the half-court setting at least work for every bucket.
Edmondson, double team pressure, or forced travels in the meantime too. You have to think really. I love how Poplar Bluff is just really trying to go with that double team, but Dexter also too trying to go with a little bit of a spread offense and playing their game, but then forming into something of their own.
It seems like if Dexter can find a way to cut, and a back cut especially, that might, well, there's another turnover.
A little pick in the back from Jay Edmondson, and he gets it up and in. I love how he just found a way to kind of poke that up the back and kind of ping-pong it off to Lathan.
Great hustle play. Tapping from down low, tapping up. You're not going to get a foul called typically on that play, and it's a great force of another turnover.
Sepulvedo trying to drive it up, and he does. Again, Sepulvedo doing what he does best, trying to find that open right lane specifically, and again, trying to tell guys to get out of my way. 4-4 all, just 3 minutes in here in the first quarter. Spits it out now to find Williams. Williams launches it, nothing but nylon, just the 2. And Dallas Williams, again, really bringing the height and the energy for this Poplar Bluff team as one of their dominant post presence. Another quick cut now off the board, finds Temples, launches the shot, can't get it to go. Rebound back in the hands of Brendan Durden. Now he's quickly chasing out the other way. Leading the Mules last night with 18. Still looking for his first points of the night thus far. Off to his brother Sammy. Gets it up? No. But Williams quick to retrieve it. Williams in double team pressure. That doesn't go. The Bearcats now quickly chasing the other way. It's about halfway through quarter number 1. Only 10 points total on the board. And a little forced out of play.
I would like to see Dexter push the ball up against this pressure quickly. Maybe outrun the pressure. That doesn't mean come down and take a quick three. I never really like to see that. I felt like it's great when it goes in, but over the course of a tough game, I don't know how you can live by those quick threes.
No, you can't. I mean, really the big key is just continue to kiss the glass as much as you can. We saw that benefit Notre Dame last night in the win against Poplar Bluff. Dexter doing the exact same thing against Kennett on Monday. Mules take it over once more. Williams at the top. Spits it out to Durden again. Durden kind of takes some time. Go with a 1-2-2 if you're Dexter. Durden again for the left side, in and out. Rebound back in the hands of Dexter, and now they are going to be looking to push the tempo just a little bit, but maybe not immediately settle for that first shot. Temples drives the left side, can't get it to go. Sepulvedo trying to answer, but it's going to be an offensive no matter what.
Just got caught with a little push there, right there. John Sepulvedo playing very aggressive. Will Geatley with an aggressive drive right there. Just didn't finish. So I think that's the only way to attack this type of pressure is to go right at it at times.
So 6-4 advantage of the Mules. Just a little over halfway done here in quarter number 1. 1 of 2 tonight. Here in this consolation semifinal, as we mentioned at the top. With the exception of Dexter versus Sikeston, each game has been decided by 2 possessions, but also 2 shooting for Poplar Bluff, only as it stands right now 3 for 8. Dexter 2 of 9 at the moment. Here's Geatley now. Sets it out to Temples. So for 5 minutes gone by here in the first. Durden doing a great job of trying to force it out of Temples' hands. Now going to go to Geatley. The sophomore continuing to give the Bearcats fits right now. Launches it outside to Temples, fakes the shot. Now back to Sepulvedo. Sepulvedo chasing back again. This is kind of the bread and butter, really trying to find at least a little bit of that gap up front.
I'm old school, and these teams start getting uncomfortable when they make this many passes. I loved it. I felt like the ball was in our hands, and the other team can't score now. I felt like we were going to break them down, get an easier bucket. And these kids these days seem to get uncomfortable with having the ball that long.
And really just try to lob it up at the end of the day.
I really feel like it's a weapon to make all those passes.
I know coming up a little bit later when we get some time and timeouts, with the potential adoption of the shot clock coming up down the road, you may have to think how this could affect, teams that like to hold it for quite some time. But again, if you really want to go with a little kiss off the glass, that's stolen away by Stone, but stolen back away from Durden in the meantime. Again, trying to force to throw it up. I understand that in shot clocks, yes, sometimes you have to do that. But again, if you're a defensive-minded team, you can find a way to adjust. There's no question.
Mm-hmm.
Here's Williams. Williams spits it out, finds Durden. Durden on the left side. Gets now to Briscoe. Settling over to Durden again. 1:47 remaining here in the first quarter, 6-4. We haven't seen a point in 1:35. Durden again. We'll get a whistle inside the lane.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen any evidence that this game's going to be any different than the ones you've been describing. Just going to be a low scoring, maybe a really tight contest through and through. Maybe one of these teams will prove us wrong, but I don't see evidence of that now.
I mean, again, both teams averaging kind of in those 50 ranges, and even taking a look at wins versus losses. Dexter, despite putting 72 on Malton against Charleston, only 59, only 55 in the win against Kennett on Monday night. So, I mean, you're looking at a team that thrives in the 50s. Long shot, but in and out from Williams. Briscoe gets it to go and one.
Justin Briscoe.
Briscoe using his height at 6'8", to try to slide it on in for the Mules.
Yep, and up until that point, Dexter done a great job on the defensive boards, and they give up their first offensive rebound, and it turns into possible three-point play.
Justin Briscoe, again, one of the key things I've noticed for Bluff, a very sophomore, junior-heavy team. Only 3 seniors in Edmondson, Schumacher, and Brendan Durden.
Okay.
But a team that, that has a lot of their physical aggression. They're only sophomores right now, so.
Yeah, they fit in well with New Madrid County and Charleston. I was just impressed with how many young kids were on the court the other night. And you could not pick out which ones were freshmen or sophomores.
Absolutely, absolutely. Here's Anneser, throws it up, got it off the glass. Just exactly those quick little tips can kind of go a long way.
Very aggressive, just very aggressive.
So 9-6 the advantage, 53 seconds left to go. Poplar Bluff looks like they may try to hold it for a little longer, and maybe not necessarily a one shot with so much time left, but again, looking just for that open opportunity, not to leave Dexter with too much at the end of the day.
Poplar Bluff's last possession, very patient. They finally drove in, drew a foul, but I thought the kid got a little impatient even with that, but something positive did happen because he was aggressive, but another nice possession right here.
Here's an opportunity back to Briscoe. Settles over for Durden for 3. He gets it to go.
Really nice. And if you notice, the ball was inside and kicked out. I love that. I just think when you attack and you can kick out and play off that, it's just tough for teams to guard.
Dexter got to move quickly here. Batted out of play for Durden once more. He's on the chase. Now stolen from Stone. 2 seconds, 1 second. Tipped up, and that is how this first quarter comes to a close. But not without a quick run from Poplar Bluff to double up on the Bearcats, 12-6, as we head to the second. This is the 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament on Aycorp Sports.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
You see Coach Tony Webb, Chad Allen, and Rob Nichols trying to discuss a little bit of extra intensity as Poplar Bluff really utilizing some patient plays to kind of close out that first quarter, going on, I believe, a 6-0 run to really try to pull ahead. And again, just strong, patient shooting coming in from obviously the senior leader in Brendan Durden, but really like what I've been seeing from the sophomore in Briscoe.
Yeah, Dexter just really doesn't value the ball. They've turned it over too much. Bluff's taken advantage of that. Now Bluff gets it again. You've got our first run of the game, and Bluff's hoping to extend this run, and obviously Dexter wants to stop here, get a basket to kill the run.
So just getting underway here in this second quarter. It's Bluff trying to go to 2-2 on the season. Bearcats trying to improve to a solid 4-1 and try to improve that Christmas tournament stock too. Here's Sepulveda crossing the timeline. Kind of drawing up his play a little bit. Looking for his open man. Bluff doing a little bit of kind of a spread defense right now, but looking to maybe make that shift to man-to-man shortly, and they do. Here's now Geatley. Geatley, cross-court pass, finds Sepulveda. Sepulveda spits it out, blocked away, but Gibson Booker waiting for him. Geatley for 3, off the mark. Rebound back in the hands of Sammy Durden and taken the other way. A patient defensive drive for the Mules benefits. Look at a whistle in the meantime on Edmondson.
Stone did a great job being right there. I thought he was going to do everything perfect, and he just kind of got tangled up there and definitely drew the foul. But, boy, he was right there to greet that pass, and that looked good. Dexter with a real nice possession down at the other end, driving the ball. Got a great look from Geatley. Hopefully that'll go down if you're a Bearcat fan.
The Mules hoping to try to continue to add it on here in this second quarter. They lead by 6. Tipped up now for Hurd. Hurd outside to Edmondson. Looking like they may want to try to go for Briscoe, if not Durden on the inside. Sets it out for Hurd. Hurd getting a little bit of extra pressure. Edmondson, he wants the 3. Can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Sammy Durden. Sepulveda trying to fight for it. They're going to call the jump on it, and it's going to go back to Dexter. So a good heads-up play, at least trying to fight for it, knowing that you are going to get that jump every time.
Yeah, that three produces a long rebound a lot of the time. So that one, Dexter did a good job hustling, tying that thing up so they could get that ball back.
Always got to get a little doink off that just to try to benefit on the boards one way or another. Sepulveda now chasing up the other way. Here's Keatley. Keatley again now to Sepulveda. Anderson in the middle. Sepulveda, cross-court pass, finds Stone for three. Can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Durden. And Bluff quickly chasing the other way. Bearcats having a little bit of trouble on shooting tonight. Have not got a bucket in since the 3:24 mark in the first. Well, the Mules have done a great job trying to shut down on defense. And again, really just trying to play keep away a little bit, as it seems at the moment. Long pass up to Durden. Durden going to lob that up with one hand. That's not good to go. And a jump ball going to go back to Poplar Bluff the other way. So 2 subs coming in, 5:48 remaining. And again, defensive effort so far. But I'm really digging just kind of like, all right, how long are we going to need to hold this? And again, playing back-to-back-to-back nights. If you're the Bearcats, you know, one of 2 teams that are playing back-to-back-to-back nights in this tournament, we should say.
Absolutely, and again, I'm not into excuses, but when you come off that football season, these guys, those football players out there are not in basketball shape, probably still.
But we can tell you, though, I mean, if you see the progression and the growth over time, you will eventually see that growth that could make a difference at the end of the day. Here's Sepulveda. 2-on-1. Spits it out. Finds Turnbow. Picked away again from Durden. Durden quick to answer back and driving up the other way. Now finding Dallas Williams. Williams launches a shot. Can't get it to go. Back in the hands of Sepulveda. Bearcats trying to move quickly here on a quick possession.
Good reversal.
Great move. Now back in the hands of Edmondson. Can't get that to go. Temples was looking for the triple, but was not meant to be. Edmondson now chasing out in the post, but got a toe out of play at the moment. So with 4:52 remaining, still 12-6. No one scoring in the first 3:08 here of the second quarter. So you have to think something has to give at one way or another. Feels kind of like a chess match a little bit.
If you're Dexter, you just noticed that the last several possessions we've just taken threes, and we had success with our 6 points by driving the ball strong to the basket.
Poplar Bluff, on the other hand, 2 threes on the board tonight for them. So again, you see where the benefits come from, at least in terms of shooting. 4:30 left to go. A long 3 from Geatley. That doesn't go. Edmondson was waiting for it and tries to answer back. Sepulveda goes for the steal and the flush from number 4 in Dallas Williams. And Coach Durden wants to stop and think it over.
A 30-second timeout.
As the junior takes flight. Don't forget, if you want to catch up on everything in the world of SEMO High School sports, check out our podcast, SEMO Sports Zone with Drew and Dave, chatting all about things of local sports and local high school sports, college, and professional teams. New episodes every Monday and can be found wherever you get your podcasts and on the SEMO Sports Zone YouTube channel. So it's Dallas Williams that breaks the drought after 3 minutes and 40 seconds on the board. And I mean, again, so much you can talk about, but just quite simply, something has to give one way or another.
I love the timeout because Dexter's going to have to decide right now if they're going to get down and demoralize and let the run extend, or are we going to get a stop? And again, I think they're going to need to attack that basket and stop settling for threes if they're going to have any success. I don't think they're going to be able to just live and die by the 3.
And one of your big strategies too was really trying to drive that glass with the teams that you've worked with in the past.
It just seems like you got to play inside and in out. You put pressure on the defense, it opens up those threes, and now you've got threes where your feet are set. You got a little more time. But Poplar Bluff's pressure is having a lot to do with that as well.
That they are. Poplar Bluff going no holds barred right now. Back to Ibrahim. Sepulveda for 3. Can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Edmondson. He's quickly chasing the other way. Bluff wasting no time, going back to Durden and gets it on the board. And the Mules now extending the lead to 10 with 3:52 remaining here in the second. So again, Bluff going again with that double team full court press, really forcing the Bearcats to try to make a move. And that was exactly done by Turnbow.
I just think you're gonna have to do more of that than settling for the threes. The threes are gonna be contested because of the pressure. I think you're gonna need to drive the bucket. Maybe get them into some foul trouble.
As Williams again gets that up for the three. 18-8, 3:23 left to go. Foul going to be picked up against Poplar Bluff. So again, right now as it stands from our count, Durden has 5 points.
Williams, that's his second.
Currently leading Poplar Bluff. Dexter, really, we don't have necessarily just kind of a leading scorer. You would say maybe Turnbow. Well, potentially Turnbow off the free throw, we should say.
Yeah, you've seen Sepulvedo drive hard a couple of times. Turnbow. Seen Annister on the bench now, but he drove strong. And again, I'm definitely not saying do not take those threes. They have kids that can hit the three, but I think you have to play inside and then out.
It's going to be an eternal pressure game, proven exactly there as Sepulvedo gets inside. And we'll get another chance at the line as it stands, but got a little push in the eye for a moment, but seems to be getting back to normal.
And again, it didn't count, but that kind of proves my point. Sepulvedo was surrounded by 3 people because he had a foot in the paint. He kicks out Geatley, even though it didn't count, it was after the whistle. The 3 goes down because he's wide open.
Absolutely, absolutely. Still plenty of fouls to give here, too, in the second quarter. And again, with the new 5 foul rule per quarter, it really kind of makes you rethink your strategy. If you want to try to, get some of your taller guards and try to get a little bit of those quick cuts early or save them for later at the end of the day. And we very well could see some of those saving for later. Edmondson answers with another and one, his second of the night. And it's 20-8 in advantage of Poplar Bluff.
Now on the Bearcats, Will Geatley, that's his second.
So Geatley's going to get his second and team foul number 2. And now we see one of the 3 seniors with Edmondson trying to go for 6 points on the board tonight, and he does. 21-8. It's been all Poplar Bluff. 9 points in the second quarter. Dexter only with the deuce.
The pressure is really bothering Dexter, and if you'll notice, they're getting a lot out of their pressure. They're not giving up easy buckets on this end. So if you're Dexter, you got to find a way to, if they're going to get up that hard on you, you're going to have to figure out a way to get an easy bucket to relieve some of that as well.
J.R. Lathan returned into play for Poplar Bluff. Spits it out to Geatley and now to Ibrahim. Ibrahim spits out to Temples. Temples at the top. Clock is stopped at 2:49 remaining. We did have a malfunction with it last night, but that goes up and in for Devin Turnbow. Now it's reset. Apparently there's like a 5-second difference, but potentially could benefit the Bearcats one way or another. So Poplar Bluff's going to take a full timeout, and we'll take it with them. 2:37 remaining, 21-10. The Mules trying to drive control. Back in a moment.
Life can be a little hectic when you're always in motion. Don't you wish you had a bank that could keep up? First State Community Bank's digital banking is the perfect companion for your fast-paced everyday life. Whether you're looking to review your full financial picture or just wanted a quick glance at your balance, First State Community Bank keeps you connected to your finances, all while juggling your daily activities. Download the app today and bank in motion with First State Community Bank's digital banking.
We welcome you back. Current score 21-10 in advantage of Poplar Bluff. Joe Northern, Scott Cruz, the entire crew with you here tonight. And again, taking a look at some of the scoring totals right now, it's been Dallas Williams dominating for Poplar Bluff, but Jay Edmondson benefiting off, again, just a big foul shots that have kind of pushed Dexter a little bit at the moment with, again, 2 team fouls each quarter. Or 2 team fouls, at least for both teams in this quarter, we should say, while it's been all Turnbow and Sepulvedo for Dexter at the moment.
And both teams playing really hard, neither team, they're both playing hard, and I love that, the intensity. Dexter's going to man, I love that. I think it's a great thing to mix up your defenses. They get a turnover.
And
love it.
Yes, and turnover, I mean, we can tell you that Tucker Temples was right in the middle of that. We'll have to see a substitution. May have a little blood come out, but that's okay.
He's gonna have maybe a couple black eyes tomorrow. That thing caught him square in the face.
Hey, he took the turnover for the team and tried to benefit off the turnovers. So
he's a great kid. He's a hard worker.
I know a name that we'll be calling quite a bit coming up in a few weeks down in Bloomfield, that's for sure. Bearcats now coming the other way. Sets it over to Sepulvedo. Can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Ibrahim, but can't get it to go. You were really looking for him just to try to get those shots under pressure more than anything.
Another great drive by Sepulvedo, just attacking that pressure.
Team foul number 3.
So second foul going to be picked up on Durden. An 11-point lead, an advantage of the Mules. Stone gets it out in time. Long shot from Geatley. Can't get it to go. Sets back down to Briscoe. Briscoe on the run. Sets now to Edmondson. Edmondson. 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. Jumper on the way. Nothing but nylon again for the senior. He's got 7 on the night, and the Mules now shooting 10 for 19 here in the match thus far.
That was a contested shot, too. Sepulvedo did a pretty good job playing defense right there. He just hit a really elevated, hit a really nice jumper.
23-10, advantage of Poplar Bluff. Bearcats trying to find answers of what's been a swarming defense for Coach William Durden and company here tonight. Here's Stone. Sets down to Ibrahim. Ibrahim on the left side. Lobs it up. Can't get it. Pinballs a little bit, but back into the hands of the Mules with $1:19 left to go. Durden again on the run. Sets it out now to Edmondson. Edmondson launches it in and out of play. And cutting back to Sepulvedo with just a minute remaining, a 13-point advantage in what has been a little bit of a lower scoring affair for these two teams. As again, Will Geatley, we know how well he can really get those three-point opportunities, getting his first of the night.
Good look from Will. You just felt like the ball was going to go down from three-point land eventually for Dexter. Hopefully that'll change their luck from the three-point line.
Another quick chance on the way from Turnbow. Can't get it. And now you can tell these two teams just trying to quickly rush things up as we're now just getting him. Looks like, again, slowing down from the hands of Edmondson and hearing one shot from the Mules bench.
And they've looked comfortable running clock, really. Honestly, Bluff's really looked more comfortable making more passes and working the clock. Let's see if they get impatient.
15 seconds remaining. They've got it to Durden. Briscoe waiting up in the paint for him.
Good help.
Bobbled off the hands. Great double team from Dexter. Stone's going to have to hurry. Stone gets it out and away. Here's Geatley for 3. Bang! Will Geatley at the horn.
Will Geatley for 3.
Or maybe a second or two before the horn. Doesn't matter, though, as Geatley with 2 all-important triples in the last minute and a half cuts the lead to 7 for the Bearcats. So a first half that, again, seemed like it was an all advantage of the Mules, and still very much so, but as what we saw last night, a 3 can change the game in a heartbeat. We're at the half. It's 23-16 in advantage of the Mules. We'll be back with the second half in just a moment, and when we come back at half, I'll have an interview with the Kennett coach, Seth McBroom, on his win last night and what he's looking forward to in tonight's upcoming match with New Madrid County. We'll have that coming up for you coming up in just a moment.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality.
Life can be a little hectic when you're always in motion. Don't you wish you had a bank that could keep up? First State Community Bank's digital banking is the perfect companion for your fast-paced everyday life. Whether you're looking to review your full financial picture or just wanted a quick glance at your balance, First State Community Bank keeps you connected to your finances, all while juggling your daily activities. Download the app today and bank in motion with First State Community Bank's digital banking.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $6.99. Mix and match any 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag, loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
At Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We welcome you back with the winning coach of the Kennett Indians, Seth McBroom. Your first trip to the SEMO Conference tournament as a head coach. Your first win in the SEMO Conference tournament as a head coach. You look flustered, but you look like you're feeling great right now. But just what a battle you had with the Blue Jays tonight.
Yeah, I mean, really don't know what to say. I mean, we were so flustered the entire game. It was so frustrating. Like, you know, yes, I understand there wasn't a large crowd. It's 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, and we just, I don't know, we just kind of kept chipping away and just doing whatever we could. We tried to keep the kids positive. We had a few moments there where I was like, golly, guys, let's, quit barking at each other. Let's get our heads refocused, and they did. So kudos to the kids, man. They just, we typically aren't up there in that range of points, but, hey, we'll take it, and the kids seem to like it when they get a little, you got a little hairy there for a minute, and they responded pretty well.
Absolutely, and really, obviously, you take a look at the near half-court shot from Antonio to really kind of fire up the team. Was there any other catalyst points that you really kind of found a way to pick away at Charleston, especially with the quick running guns?
Well, the three-point, at halftime, just like we drew it up, Of course. But, no, I think we switched our defenses a couple times, and we went to the 1-3-1 there. Sometimes, the 1-3-1, she's a mean lover. She can get you sometimes, and then sometimes she can take you where you want to go. And it took us to where we wanted to go. It was a nice little switch up, and just gave them a few. Now they still scored against it. I mean, we got some holes on defense, needless to say, but we're trying to figure it out. People bear with us, and we're trying to get it worked out. But I think that, and then I think Dyson hit some huge shots, and then Tony had a heck of a game, Tony Flakes, and he was pretty consistent all 4 quarters. That's pretty big for a sophomore.
Absolutely, and I mean, with having all the young guys that you have on the team, and one kind of funny line you said, it's like, yes, 9 o'clock at night on a Tuesday. Well, I have some good news for you. You'll be in prime time tomorrow night, we should say, with a 7:30 window, but you got New Madrid County, first of 2 technically you're going to have New Madrid County over the next week. Initial thoughts on taking on the Eagles?
Well, I mean, you know what Coach Jenkins can do, and you know what they can do, and it's going to be a tough one. There's no doubt. Every game in this conference is tough. It's unreal. And then, yeah, luckily we get to play New Madrid and Charleston next week too. So, Merry Christmas.
Yeah, well, it's Groundhog Day for you for sure. But anyway, well, congratulations on the win tonight. One of the first 9 seeds we get to see advance on to Wednesday evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night.
Appreciate it. Appreciate what you guys do, and thanks for everything. Good to see you, too.
Yeah, good to see you, bud. That's the coach of the Kennett Indians, Seth.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us be a part of your family and for trusting us with the ones you love the most. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of those lifelong memories. Thank you for taking us on the job and for putting us to work. Thank you for choosing us for your first vehicle and for every vehicle after. Thank you for trusting us for 70 years.
Halftime here at the Fieldhouse. It's Poplar Bluff 23, Sikeston 16. But again, 2 late three-point shots from Will Geatley has been the difference. Bearcats down by as many as 13 points. Joe Northern along with Scott Cruiser talking a little bit of just kind of some strategies that, we could see either of these teams do. I wish we had a telestrator right now for you to really kind of draw up a play that you really kind of harped on, which was, again, getting 2 guys kind of up front and then 3 in the middle just to kind of keep passing on and get some back cuts, too, in the meantime.
Yeah, the back cuts against this pressure would be a really good thing. And Dexter's ran a couple of really good back cuts, and they haven't resulted in, a clean pass and a layup. But, again, it puts pressure on the defense to protect that paint. Carter Stone, though, with that steal at the end, finding Will Geatley. Hopefully Will can, maintain his hot streak here heading into the second half if you're Dexter. And, again, if I'm Bluff, I just think you just keep pressuring these guys. That's what you would just want to keep pressuring. Dexter's not made them pay at the other end for the pressure.
No question. Taking a look at kind of the team comparison, Poplar Bluff shooting awfully well, 10 of 21, but being selective in their shooting as it stands, 9 for 16 from the field, only 1 for 5 from three-point land. Dexter 7 for 25, 5 for 15 from the field, 2 of 10 from the distance. All of those coming from the leading scorer in Will Geatley, Sepulveda and Turnbow, each with 4 for the Mules, led by Brendan Dern with 7, Dallas Williams with 6, and Edmondson, the and one king, with 5 points as it stands right now. So quick keys to the second half that you're looking for. Let's start if you're Poplar Bluff.
Again, just continue pressure and make Dexter make you pay for it. And if they're not going to, you just don't stop. I think they got so aggressive early on. They picked up 2 or 3 really cheap fouls because of that, and then they really settled into just playing solid pressure defense. Again, I hope Will can stay hot, but I also hope he gets those threes off of kickouts and playing inside and out and not just settling for the open 3. I do see that Dexter has only allowed 2 offensive rebounds, and to me, that's definitely a key to the game. Probably every game they'll play this season is just to not allow putbacks and offensive rebounds.
So a 7-point advantage and a date to play in the early window on Friday. You have a day off tomorrow off the court, but do you want to be coming back here Friday? Both teams surely hope so. Dexter going to go right to left on your screen. We're underway here in half number 2. Game 1 of 2 here tonight. New Madrid County and Kennett to follow. Long shot. Well, off the hand of Sepulveda, can't get it, but a reach in on Poplar Bluff's going to send Temples back to the line. Temples looking for his first points of the evening thus far. 4 boards as it stands, but again, getting 10 offensive rebounds, really trying to continue to give your guys second chances, which is the best thing you can do.
Absolutely. And Tucker playing much bigger than he is, getting in there, mixing it up, and then going ahead and attempting the shot in the same motion. I think surprised the defense, what turned into the defensive player there, and he drew the foul.
Temples gets that pure to go in. And just like that, you've got a little 2-possession game going on and a 7-point affair. Or 5-point affair, we should say. 23-18. So Dexter now on an 8-0 run since the 124 mark in the second quarter. And they continue to ride the momentum back in this one. We saw a comeback of 16 last night. Can Dexter try to counter with one of their own? Durden gets the shot off the mark. The Bearcats now trying to ride a little bit of control. Under pressure. Bounce pass to Ibrahim. Ibrahim lobs it up, can't get it, but a foul will be called on him. He'll get a chance to go to the line.
Nice, strong take. I like the fact that Dexter pressured off of that last possession, and I think that could be something that could benefit them.
So again, number 5, the sophomore sensation for Chad Allen's Bearcats, gets that one easy to go. Started the game 0-4 on free throws, but have made the last 3. That'll look to even it up to go 50%, and they do. A 1-possession game. The Bearcats on a 10-0 run over the last 2 official minutes. Let's say 2.5 official minutes of game time. Poplar Bluff going to have to make a quick move, and they do. And that's one great thing that they do is finding just kind of those quick little fast breaks to try to toss it up and in.
Yep. And again, if Dexter's going to press you, Poplar Bluff, then you're going to try to make them pay, and they really took it right at them and did. So hopefully Dexter won't give up on that. I think it could benefit them, but they can't continue to give up easy buckets.
Whistle going to be picked up on Dallas Williams, kind of going, well, actually, nope, just the jump ball. Not sure if it was going to be the whistle on the reach in or not, but a great ball IQ play just to kind of pull that out. So Mules back up by 5. Just underway here in quarter number 3. 2-on-1 pressure. Gets it out now to Williams. Williams launches the long 3. Takes a little bit of the doink off the board. And back of the hands for Dexter. Here comes Temples. Temples batted away from Durden. Still going to be in the zone. And you got to think Bluff, a very strong team when it comes to steals. Looking at least some of the numbers last night in the loss against Notre Dame. They didn't pick up any steals, but a lot of deflections that they had to force against a very good Bulldog team. And the Bearcats continue to find a way here in the third. Here's Sepulvedo. Sepulvedo spits out again to Turnbow. Turnbow outside to Sepulvedo. 2-on-1. Great double team from the Mules, but Sepulvedo always finds a way to really utilize those corners and to get his Bearcats back within 1.
Nice strong take.
1 possession, that is, we should say. A little deflection out of the hands of Edmondson. Here's Markel Hurd on the other way. Hurd 2-on-1. Dexter settling into that all-famous 1-2-2. Bat it out again. Great pressure coming in from Ibrahim, just finding the middle to bat it away and finding Sepulvedo ready to go. Sepulvedo, 2-on-1 pressure, trying to get the steal out of the hands. Ibrahim finds a way to get away with it. Get a bounce off the foot of the Mules and still in play for Dexter.
I think Coach Allen's telling Ibrahim, just go up strong. Don't hesitate, go up. You're 2 foot from the rim, go up.
And, I mean, no way that's not going to go against you at the end of the day. Here's Sepulvedo again on the reset. 5:10 left to go here in the third quarter. Geatley again for 3. Off the mark. Rebound back in the hands of Durden. A 1-possession game, 25-22. We'll get another whistle this time against Jay Edmondson. Or against, well, for Jay Edmondson, going to go against Devin Turnbow.
Devin Turnbow, that's his 3rd.
So already Turnbow in a little bit of foul trouble. He's got 3 on the night thus far. Durden launching the 3, can't get it. Great second chance opportunity for Edmondson. A little 5-on-1 action, but no problem for Sammy Durden. Had the little shrug being like, hey, that's all right, we got this. It's 5-point lead for Poplar Bluff. Now Dexter's got to find a way to counter here. Here's Geatley. Geatley trying to get out of the trap, and a timeout called by the Bearcats. The 30-second timeout will be called. We'll keep it right here, 27-22. So again, Bearcats starting off with a strong run in the third quarter, but Poplar Bluff really going back to that quick full court pressure to try to get some easy buckets on the board.
Yeah, it's not just coach talk when you say those first minutes of the half really do matter, and you thought Dexter was really going to change this. Bluff kind of matched that and put it right back where it was. Their pressure's really making Dexter uncomfortable, and you can see that. And so it's not always just about turnovers. You know, you get kids just playing uncomfortable, and it really affects their game.
So who will find a way to combat under pressure is the big question at the end of the day. We'll continue to find that out. 4:25 remaining. Bearcats currently Sepulveda and Gately both leading with 6 on the night thus far. Gately gonna have to hurry to get this one up, and stolen away in the meantime from Lathan. It kind of looked like it kind of fell in slow motion for a moment, but nonetheless, no time to move, and a foul gonna be picked up against Ibrahim.
Yeah, we used to call those floaters, and you just did not. You love seeing them when you're on defense, and you just didn't want to see your kids make a floater.
And it feels like you're watching that in slow motion, and you're just like, I do not want to see what happens.
Yeah,
here.
You should be Coach Allen on the bench watching that ball. It feels even longer if you're him. It just feels like it's in the air forever.
I can't tell you how many times we see that at the table, and I'm sure that you've seen definitely in your days too. I mean, no matter which program you've been behind, we should say. Edmondson gets that one good to go, and now three on, 3 off for the Bearcats. It'll be Booker, Stone, and Anniser entering the match. So again, the rebounds, Dexter doing a great job of only not giving Poplar Bluff too many chances, but turnovers have not been kind to either team, especially here in this third quarter. Bluff again, not wasting any time on the pressure. Gets out to Sepulveda. 4:10 remaining here in this third quarter. Sepulveda spits it out the other way. Sepulveda hits it up. Great cut on the right side. And now cuts back to within 5. Now Dexter trying to give a taste of Bluff's own medicine. A great double team pressure to just throw it out of play.
Great trap. If you'll notice, both those guys, they weren't going to reach. They weren't going to commit a foul. They just forced an awful pass, and that's great pressure from Dexter. And hopefully, again, if you're a Bearcat fan, that will continue.
And you just got to think, you know, you may not have intended to throw it out of play, but if you're Bluff, that gives you a little more room to work with. Not playing devil's advocate, obviously, but the more room that you can have to try to force it away from the bucket, you're better off making, at least if it's a bad turnover, just make it far away so you can try to reset moving forward. Here's Stone. Stone lost it in the hand of Durden. Durden now quickly coming to reset. 29-24 here in this third quarter, and a game that really feels like 5 points could feel like 15, and yet 2 points feels like 10. Long shot on the way, can't get it to go. Rebound back in the hands of Thomas. He can't get it, but eventually pulls away with it on an offensive board. We knew that was going to be a big key for Poplar Bluff. They just got 3 on that possession, still on this possession as it stands. Edmondson still at the top. Edmondson now down to Lathan. Lathan, 2:48 remaining. Gets this one back again to Durden. Gets this one high off the mark, won't get it. And a rebound now for Sepulveda. Sepulveda chasing. Thomas was trying to find the reach in, couldn't get it. Sets out to Sepulveda, fakes. 2-on-1 pressure. Spits it out to find Stone. Stone gets a traveling violation. Had that right foot kind of come left foot go a little bit forward. They'll go back to the Mules.
I think I'm old, and I think the game is maybe played differently, but we used to say if you weren't having real positive dribbles, don't take them. And you just see a lot of dribbles around the three-point line and not for any reason. And boy, your offense is so much better if you've got a lot of passes being made, and boy, there's just too many dribbles maybe on both ends.
Again, it's really just you're having trouble trying to find open gaps. Here's Sepulveda trying to get one of his own. Well, the reach-in looks like it's going to be called against Poplar Bluff, and it will be on Edmondson. A nice break in the meantime, too.
That's his first.
So Edmondson's going to pick up his first, team foul number 3 with 2:11 remaining. Little floater now to Turnbow. That tried to force to go up, couldn't get it. They wanted to call, they said play on. And picked away from Durden, who's got it. Now it goes to Geatley, eventually in the hands of Edmondson. So no call and played on. That'll be a push going against the Bearcats. Still on the floor, however, so I mean, again, the benefit of the new rule, only 5 fouls a quarter, so you still only have maybe 2 left to give, or now the 1 left to give at this point.
And I'd rather not get real critical, but when you get 3 guys jumping up in the air and then you go up for a shot, you've almost have to call a foul on that.
Shot up off the way for Durden, can't get it to go. Looks out into Booker. Booker gets it out on the other side. Finds Vaughn. Vaughn almost trying to get past double team, and he does. Over to Sepulvedo. Can't get it. 2-on-1. Now back to Turnbow. 3. Now he'll get the one he's looking for. Again, under 2-man pressure, and it's going to go against the senior, Brendan Durden.
Turnbow's just a great, great kid, a great athlete. He's so strong. If he was 6'4" instead of 6'1", you know, we'd be talking about him even more. He's just a really, really hard worker.
No question. Turnbow trying to make this a 1-possession game. Bearcats went 0 for 4 in the first half, but have since not missed a beat, going 5 for 5 at the moment.
Beautiful rotation on his free throw.
Second shot is up and rolls off the mark. He's trying to go for Sepulvedo to try to go for that 2-point opportunity.
I really expected him to get that roll.
He kind of picks off and play, but instead forcing it Poplar Bluff to try to play from deep. Another 2-on-1 trap. Down to Sepulvedo. Everybody tripping all over each other. Perspiration everywhere. Here's Edmondson now in control. Sets over to Williams. Edmondson again. Dexter going back to that 1-2-2. Cross-court pass finds Hurd. Hurd looks up inside, off the board. Now instead to Hurd, picked away. Now finding Devin Turnbow. Looks over to Sepulvedo, can't get it to go. Sepulvedo has had a little bit of trouble trying to get that right arm to kind of arc it up. So still a 4-point game, 42 seconds remaining here in the third period. And again, it looks like you're going to try to get that long hold. Maybe not all the way to 0-0, but maybe leaving 1 or 2 seconds, if any. Here's Edmondson again. They're going to play that keep away, just as we saw in the second. Turnbow and Geatley want to try to go for the fight for it, however. 13 seconds. Sets it back now for Hurd. Hurd at the top, 8 seconds, 7 seconds. Edmondson lurking out, 2 seconds, 1 second. From the Bulldog tooth, not even close. And that is how the fourth quarter comes to a close. As he gets the hand, as you can see from Coach Will Durden saying, hey, you did what you needed to do, and that's what Bluff needed. However, it's still a 4-point game, 29-25. Back with the fourth in a moment.
Yeah, they killed the clock.
NextEra Energy Resources is the world's largest generator of renewable energy from the wind and sun, and a world leader in energy storage. Since 2016, NextEra Energy Resources has invested more than $339 million in Missouri to fuel local economic growth. Today, our company owns and operates one wind energy facility in the state and is looking to invest even more in the Show Me State. We are committed to being a trusted community partner and look forward to providing affordable, clean, renewable energy for generations of Missourians to come.
Welcome back, 29-25. Poplar Bluff an advantage. Joe Northern, Scott Cruz with you. Again, what's been a very back-and-forth effort between these two teams, but a strategically shot game. Both teams getting 35, 33 shots apiece. Your thoughts so far here in this third, as we head to the fourth?
Bluff's obviously just content with a lead. I mean, they're just content with a 4-point lead. They ran out that whole quarter there at the end. Dexter's pressure could be a key in the fourth quarter. I really feel like they're making Poplar Bluff uncomfortable. That could be one way that you negate these 4 points here and maybe get back a lead. Dexter with the ball to start the quarter.
Very similar to a game we saw last night against the Charleston Blue Jays and the Kennett Indians. We'll see Kennett coming up
as soon as this one is done against New Madrid County. The Bearcats would love nothing more than to play again on Friday night. And also to improve their Christmas tournament stock. We'll talk about that a little bit later on. Here's Sepulveda. No whistle, they say. Now a whistle will get picked up against the Mules. And that's going to go against Markel Hurd, only his first. Or third, I should say. Team foul number 1. So now the fouls are going to have to become a factor if you're Poplar Bluff. So a few guys with 3 fouls. None with 4 at the moment, but a little cause for concern. Great cut up front for Turnbow. You have to love it as a coach to have those plays just drawn up, ready to go.
You feel really good when you get an easy bucket like that. And I always felt like if you got 1 or 2 a game, you know, that was just wonderful. And here's a turnover. Maybe Dexter's going to get something going here.
A quick throwaway and definite miscommunication coming in for Dallas Williams. Looks like he was trying to go for Markel Hurd, but could not get the front in time. So 29-27, 7:30 left to go here in regulation. There is a football pass up to Turnbow. The wide receiver ties it.
That's how you make them pay for that pressure. I was fixing to say it may be a battle of who handles this pressure the best. And if Dexter can get easy buckets off by attacking all of a sudden and then force them to be uncomfortable, this could be a whole different quarter here for the Bearcats.
Could be a very rare 8 seed to try to find a way to go back to a final. It's definitely happened before. But again, wild things have happened here in this SEMO Conference tournament. This game continuing to add to the story. Here's an opportunity for Sepulveda. Sepulveda up front gets the charge. Placement in time for Brendan Durden. And another foul on Sepulveda.
Team foul number 1.
Durden launching out the other way, finding his brother. Durden now nearly picked away 3-on-1 from Temples. Still in motion now for Williams. Williams, I should say, out to Durden. Off the left side of the rim. And a little reach over going to be called on Hurd. That's his 4th.
Foul the Mules, Markel Hurd. That's his 4th.
So a reach up off the tip and another costly turnover if you're Poplar Bluff.
You know, Tucker Temple's just playing bigger than he is. Got a good block out on him and went up strong for the rebound and got the over-the-back called.
Doesn't matter if you're 5'10", you can play with anybody up to 7 foot if you have to at the end of the day.
You can already see that Bluff released some pressure because of that outlet pass last time. Here they are again.
Here's Geatley for the lead. Got it! Will Geatley, 9 points on the night, all from the arc. And the Bearcats' first lead of the evening. Here's Edmondson now. Finding Durden. Durden on the run. Finds Edmondson. Bearcats again trying to force the pressure. So it goes right up to Ibrahim as he takes a little bit of a fall for the moment. We're going to look to wait and see if that's going to be rolled an offensive or charged with the middle, but instead it'll be nothing, just out of play.
They called it out of bounds. That was a football collision.
It's definite collision. Another long 3 on the way from Williams. Can't get it. I thought I saw the arm go for the charge. Doesn't matter. Ibrahim throws it up. Can't get it, but he'll have a chance to go to the line in the meantime. And what great intensity that this sophomore has brought to the table, and you know, a newcomer that has made absolute noise within the halls of DHS.
Yeah, having Turnbow as a student, I always think he's a senior, and I always think that this kid's not a sophomore. Ibrahim moving into town, and it really helped out the football team this year, and just seems like a good kid, handles himself well on the court, and seems to fit in really well with the guys.
So an opportunity for the Bearcats to extend the lead. 5:58 remaining here in the 4th quarter. As they're waiting to get a substitution in, as a little bit of confusion for number 30 in Brendan Durden. Looks like he was trying to get tended to for an injury, but Bluff trying to get a quick substitution on the inside.
Hurd's got those 4 fouls, and Coach Durden's, going to leave him in, and he almost picked up his 5th down there. He basically did the same thing on this last possession. I'd be a little leery about that, and I don't know that I would, I would bank on not getting that called continuously. And again, one more, and he's gone, so that could play big.
And Bluff only 1 more left to give before it's free throws the rest of the way. and an all-important 2-possession lead for the Bearcats, 33-29. And a steal picked up in the hands of Geatley. Can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Edmondson. Edmondson on the run. Now scoops it down to Sammy Durden. Jump ball. Going to stay with Poplar Bluff, but again, great pressure to try to avoid another 2 on the board. Anderson and Stone entering the game, and again, kind of a reversal of fortune, if you will, thanks to the quick football-esque pass to Turnbow to start this fourth quarter. Almost picked away from Sepulvedo. He's trying to go nip and tuck with Durden, but a foul going to be picked up against Anderson. And the thing to know with the Bearcats, too, not too many fouls on the board for any of them. So if you do have to kind of force a little bit of physical pressure, you have a little bit of room to do that, only with 2 team fouls at the moment. Here's Durden, off the mark. So 5:37 left to go. Sammy Durden trying to make this a 1-possession game. And he does. 5 points on the night for the sophomore. Brought inside for Turnbow. Turnbow crossing the timeline right to left. Sets it back to Sepulvedo. Sepulvedo chasing. Sepulvedo lurking. Finds Stone for 3. Back in the hands of Anderson. Great offensive board to try to keep it in motion. And stolen away. Miscommunication, was looking for Geatley. Here comes Edmondson. Edmondson travels with 1 too many steps.
Yeah, Carter Stone squared him up for a charge and made him just think for a split second. I think that forced the turnover.
Had a little bit of a pivot there and just kind of leaned out the other way. Still a 1-possession game, 33-30. It's the Bearcats trying to pull the 8-4 upset. Or 8-5 upset, I should say. Here's Geatley, blocked and stolen away from Lathan. Now the Mules have a chance to try to tie it on the other side. Here comes Edmondson. Edmondson searching. Down in that lower right corner. Edmondson throws it up and it goes. A great cut for Jay Edmondson. And now the lead is back to 1.
Strong finish.
Sepulvedo chasing the other way. 4:25 left to go here in the fourth. That's batted down, stolen away. Got a little under pressure. Williams for the lead, in and out. Rebound back in the hands of Anderson. Now the Bearcats debating if they're going to try to go with a little slow pressure. You see Markel Hurd not trying to give up anything, and that is going to be it for him. His final foul of the night. And only 1 left to give for actually, nope, no more to give if you're Poplar Bluff. So free throws the rest of the way coming up for the Bearcats. As Justin Briscoe now enters the game. So again, you have a little more height, but not as much physical energy as you have from Markel Hurd. Halfway through this fourth quarter. Opportunity for Sepulvedo. Sepulvedo, jumper, yes.
John Sepulvedo.
John Sepulvedo now has 10 on the night, 2 rebounds away from a double-double. Bearcats up by 3. Great cut up front in the meantime from Justin Briscoe. If you're the Bearcats, you have to stop him at the post no matter what. Now quickly brought out to Sepulvedo. Sets inside for Anderson. Anderson, Geatley again for 3. In and out. Rebound back in the hands of Briscoe. And Bluff slowing it up the other way. It's a 1-point game, 35-34. Williams gets that out to Edmondson. Clock continuing to move here in this fourth quarter. Edmondson picks it out, finds Briscoe. Has a couple guys in the back to help him out. 3 minutes remaining. It's going to be a battle of possessions in this one, with 2:55 left to go. Bearcats not giving them any chances up front. That's going to be picked away from Sepulveda, but again, Dexter, one more foul left to give. Not a bad foul if you're Sepulveda.
Yeah, John got beat on that cut. As a nice cut by Durden, got in front, got position, and a nice feed, and Sepulveda just almost had the foul, really.
Edmondson can't get it to go. Rebound, yes, from the hands of Briscoe. And Justin Briscoe gets Poplar Bluff back up front, 36-35, 2:40 remaining here in the fourth. We will keep it right here and do want to let you know coming up on Saturday, it is the 2024 Bloomfield Christmas Tournament Seating Announcement Show. Second year we'll be doing that for you here on the network. Join myself, Bobby Alford, Jim Riker, Andrew Moore, and David Jenkins as we'll be breaking down the seeds as they'll be coming in from Bloomfield. It'll be coming up at 11 a.m. Saturday morning right here on Aycorp Sports. And it gets us ready for our 19th year of tip to trophy coverage beginning on December 26th. Hard to believe that's 2 weeks away at this point, and how quickly 24 has flown by, especially for you now, since especially you since retiring recently. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. It does not slow down. Time will not slow down. It's just a warning for anyone. All the people that have told me that, they weren't lying. Nothing slows down.
Absolutely not, and neither will this game as it stands at the moment. 36-35, 2:30 left remaining here in regulation. Spits it outside to Keatley. Keatley in control. Trying to fend off some physical pressure coming from the hands of Lathan. Lathan now finds it out. Can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Williams. Williams gets it over to Edmondson and just chasing the other way. 2:09 remaining in regulation. Bluff again doing what they've done so well and just trying to force Dexter to make them foul. They only have one left to give. It's just debating on when is the right time to do it or who can you find a way to pick a steal.
I don't like the matchup with, you got Turnbow out on is it Williams, and you got Sepulveda down on Durden. Boy, I'd love to see that switch because Durden's going to really try to post up hard.
No question, it's going to be Edmondson on the inside, off the rim. And he gets us on board. What fancy footwork coming in for the senior. Durden up front, can't get it. And that was the one you did not want to give if you're Dexter, with it going up in the air and in the act of shooting.
Foul on the Bearcats, John Sepulveda. That's his fourth.
So Sepulveda now with his fourth personal. As Sammy Durden now headed to the line. An opportunity to try to extend this one, and he does, up to 2. Winner will be taking on the winner of our next game. They'll have the early window on Friday evening at 5:30 p.m. Second shot up, it's in and out. Dexter now chasing up right to left on your screen. Finds Sepulveda, fakes, double team pressure, stolen away by Durden. Durden on the run, sets out to Edmondson. Edmondson over to Williams. 3, triple pressure. And a timeout called by Poplar Bluff. 37-35, 1:10 remaining here in the fourth. We'll step aside. Stay tuned. Could be an exciting finish left here in this one. Back in a moment. We're on Aycorp Sports.
At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care while making our patients feel welcome in our warm and friendly atmosphere. With locations throughout Southeast Missouri, we provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to anyone and everyone that may need it. Visit SEMO Health Network for your wellness exams, COVID and flu vaccinations, lab services, dental exams, counseling, and more. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
Scott, you were just saying as we were coming right out of the break, this has probably been one of the wackier tournaments I think we've seen. And also, by the way, it's only the second week of December, second week of the season for a lot of these teams. And, you know, I have a gut feeling, are we about to see something a little ridiculous?
Yeah, this is going to get exciting. I really feel that. This has just been an amazing tournament. And again, other than the one half Sikeston had against Dexter, and that's the only game we've seen Sikeston, but this tournament looks very even.
And again, just the parity is just, you know, you can tell from a mile away that anybody can beat each other on any given night. Kind of feels like the SEC in some senses, too. Here is Edmondson as it's going to be Geatley going to pick up the foul in the meantime. And Edmondson has really just found his way to kind of shine a little bit here in the second half. Just finding a lot of opportunities under pressure, and even more so now to try to go for that the double bonus shot and get a 2-possession lead.
Yeah, if teams were scouting Bluff, I really see, it seems like Edmondson is just kind of their glue. It seems like if you could wear him down, get him tired, or get him in foul trouble, I really wonder what they look like without him on the floor. I don't know that he's been off the floor all night.
No question. I think maybe 2 minutes to rest, if anything. Still a 1-possession game, 1 minute remaining in regulation. Here's Sepulveda, and it bounces in and out of play. So Bluff to inbound it, and Coach Allen's got to stop and think it over, and they do. With a 30-second timeout, we will quickly take it with them. 55.8 left to go. Bluff up by 3. Back in a moment. .35 advantage to Poplar Bluff, 55.8 seconds left to go. It makes you feel like there might be potentially a game of keep away, but I feel like Dexter's got to go with a little more full court pressure if they want to try to at least force something to happen here.
Yeah, I'm sure glad to see that they have been man-to-man, because I feel like, and it looks like maybe they're going to be in like a 1-3-1 trap here.
Yep, that's exactly what they're going to go with.
And they just almost got him to step out of bounds without that foul. I don't think Williams knew where that sideline was at all.
For Williams right now, quiet night for him. 6 rebounds, only 2 fouls as it stands, but 3 boards for him. But really just a big post for William Durden and company, and just somebody who can really find a way to get mistakes. And of course, if you're Dexter, you want to foul those guys that you know haven't had too much success from the free throw line. In fact, Bluff only 7 of 10 so far tonight.
And the other thing, there's plenty of time. Dexter doesn't have to settle for a 3. I always felt like teams might be expecting you to take a 3, being down 3. And, a lot of times you can get an easy 2, cut it to 1, take a timeout.
And still with 3 timeouts
here
remaining.
Go.
You got a lot.
There's a good open 3, though.
Look at that for Geatley. Can't get it. Tries to get his own board. Abraham. They have him on the jump, but just out of play. Kind of rolled over a little bit on the left side.
Yeah. Abraham was just on that baseline, and a nice hustle, though. You love seeing the kids play so hard.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, again, you're not to the 3-point desperation yet, but you're getting awfully close. Here's the quick trap.
You also don't have to foul just yet. Being down 4, you kind of do, yep.
Yep, now you're in that kind of foul to win territory as it stands here in this fourth quarter. So 25.8 left to go. As you see again, number 4, Dallas Williams head up. Will Geatley's night's done. He finishes up at 9 points, 2 rebounds, but 9 very critical points here in this match.
Yeah, all of his shots were big. Every one of them were really important, kept Dexter around. So let's see how these free throws go. Nice form.
Williams gets into the first, just trying to extend this to a 4, or at least a full 2-possession game. 25.8 remaining, and kind of a team that bent but didn't completely break here tonight as it stands. But still, anything can happen. 25 seconds remaining.
You got to look for a good open 3 here. It's going to have to come fairly quickly.
Sepulveda
there's an open 3.
Look at this for Turnbow. It is off the mark. Rebound back in the hands of Sammy Durden. And now you're going to start seeing those fouls, just at least to try to maybe get the ball back if you can. But at this point, make your free throws and look to see what's to come in the future.
Yeah, boy, Dexter had a lot of chances. Again, both teams played so hard.
Again, doesn't get easier for these two teams. As you see again, Sammy Durden go to the line. Misses the first. For Dexter, coming up next week, they'll have a good one at Richland.
Stoddard County Conference opponents. You have a little dual affiliation. We love to see it. And then you're at home with Jackson and Woodland to round out the week before Christmas. Not an easy stretch. Meanwhile, for Poplar Bluff, they lead by 7. Long shot from Sepulveda gets it to go, and a timeout. So obviously may have been too little too late, but again, stranger things have happened, and yet you still have maybe one timeout left to burn. But again, force the trap, force it quick, do something basically is the name of the game.
You won't say it if you're over there coaching, but yeah, it seems to be too little too late.
Meanwhile, for the Mules, barring this holding, they'll have the winner of our next game coming up on Friday night, but then they're off to the Route 66 shootout as they'll be taking on Capital City just off the west side of the Capitol in Jefferson City, and then St. Louis Christian Knights. That'll be coming up before their Poplar Bluff showdown on the 26th. So inbounds pass upcoming. Williamson lurks out to find Durden, and another quick foul picked up on Turnbow. So again, finding the key shooters that you gotta get them into the hands and just seal it at this point if you're Poplar Bluff.
Yeah, if you love shooting free throws, this is when you definitely want the ball, and this is when your coach wants you to have the ball. And I love seeing that Dexter's not going to give up and just give in. You never know, but
they do miss the first. Durden, 7 points, 6 rebounds. His brother Brendan, 7 points, 1 rebound. Shot up, got it. Rolls out, 2.5 left to go, but that is how this one comes to a close. Would have been a nice highlight reel if that found a way on the other side, but it goes into the hands of the Poplar Bluff Mules, advancing on to the consolation title on Friday night at 5:30 p.m. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the stats for the Mules, again, led by Jay Edmondson. What a great night he had, just kind of, as you mentioned, that glue that holds everybody together with 12 points and 6 rebounds on the night. Dallas Williams with 7, both Durdens, well, Sammy Durden with 8, Brendan Durden with 7. Really not one leader besides Edmondson for Poplar Bluff. A really good job of kind of balancing the scoring tonight.
yeah, if you're Durden, Coach Durden, you just love Edmondson running the show. He is the glue. He rebounded well as a little guard and definitely ran the show.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, taking a look for the Bearcats, you get about a week off until you do have the road game at the home of the Rebels, and then welcoming Jackson and Woodland. Again, not easy opponents by any stretch of the imagination. Sepulveda, 13 points, 9 rebounds, just 1 away from that double-double. Geatley and Turnbow each with 9 points apiece. So again, Bluff doing what they had to do and really being patient tonight when it comes to shooting. Dexter, you got to give them all the credit in the world for hanging in there too.
Yeah, just a really great game, fun game to watch, obviously, and both teams really just played real hard. And you know, in this side of the bracket, that's basically what you want to see, just a good, hard-fought battle. It's still early in the season. I think both teams, Poplar Bluff's schedule's got even harder than Dexter's, but I'd be optimistic if I was either of these coaches coaching those guys.
No question. I think there's a lot of optimism, a lot of young energy too, because they have to feel like it's only going to continue to escalate from there. And meanwhile, if you're Dexter too, this is only going to improve your tournament stock for the selection show coming up in a few weeks. Whereas maybe people were thinking, okay, this could be a team at that 5-6 line. Maybe now you could see them bump it up to a 4 or even a 3 on the performances this week. Despite going 1-2, still a pretty solid 1-2 if you're Dexter here in this tournament.
Yeah, and Kennett's going to end up being right behind Dexter. Obviously, if they could somehow upset New Madrid tonight, then I wouldn't know how those seeds might go even. But with Dexter beating Kennett, obviously it seems like those two teams would be right there together somewhere. But again, boy, what a tournament that's going to be too. A lot of teams that could make a run at that thing.
Absolutely. So dare I say it right now, we are at halftime fully of this tournament. We have now officially hit the halfway point. We have gone through 7 games. We have 6 left to go. Okay, so halftime adjacent, if you will. Halftime adjacent. Coming up next in just a little bit, we'll have Kennett taking on New Madrid County, the versus the 7 matchup. Can Dontre Jenkins and company rebound after the loss against Jackson? Or will the Miracle McBrooms, you should say, led by Seth McBroom and Dyson Watson, get Kennett onto the final on Friday night? We'll join you coming up in just a little bit. You're watching the 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament here at Aycorp Sports.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today and let's make your dream home a reality.
Life can be a little hectic when you're always in motion. Don't you wish you had a bank that could keep up? First State Community Bank's digital banking is the perfect companion for your fast-paced everyday life. Whether you're looking to review your full financial picture or just wanted a quick glance at your balance, First State Community Bank keeps you connected to your finances, all while juggling your daily activities. Download the app today and bank in motion with First State Community Bank's digital banking.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $6.99. Mix and match any 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag. Loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
At Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us be a part of your family and for trusting us with the ones you love the most. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of those lifelong memories. Thank you for taking us on the job and for putting us to work. Thank you for choosing us for your first vehicle and for every vehicle after. Thank you for trusting us for 70 years.
Mathis Funeral Home of Dexter and Bernie strives to provide their community with the accommodations and services needed to relieve your family during times of loss. For more information, give them a call and see how Mathis Funeral Home can help meet your expectations in celebrating your loved ones.
Do you need personalized merchandise? Trying to celebrate the season of that big state run? Then Juju Promotions in New Madrid has you covered. Whether it's heat presses, screen printing, or embroidery, we always have an option that will leave you satisfied and looking your best. With seasonal styles and plenty of accessories, there's something here for everyone. So come in and shop around. You'll be welcome with a smile and leave more fashionable than ever. Call us at 573-748-4040 or visit us in New Madrid.
We're right here at King Jerry Lawler's Hall of Fame Bar and Grill on world-famous Beale Street, and as you can see, oh my gosh, we have the best barbecue ribs in Memphis. Oh my gosh, the gumbo is out of this world, but you gotta try the King's Triple-Decker Slam Burger. You'll love it.
NextEra Energy Resources is the world's largest generator of renewable energy from the wind and sun, and a world leader in energy storage. Since 2016, NextEra Energy Resources has invested more than $339 million in Missouri to fuel local economic growth. Today, our company owns and operates one wind energy facility in the state and is looking to invest even more in the Show Me State. We are committed to being a trusted community partner and look forward to providing affordable, clean, renewable energy for generations of Missourians to come.
My name is Kevin Rossville. I'm a farmer from Prairie County, Arkansas. Been farming since 1991. Started farming with my father-in-law when I got married. We've been raising rice ever since. We've all been looking for something for a change for years. And I think this 263L is going to be the next and up and coming thing for us. It's really going to work well on a lot of different ground and a lot of different farms around here.
Dynagrow 263L, available exclusively at Nutrient Ag Solutions.
At SEMO Health Network, we strive to provide caring and affordable health care while making our patients feel welcome in our warm and friendly atmosphere. With locations throughout Southeast Missouri, we provide medical, dental, OB, and behavioral health services to anyone and everyone that may need it. Visit SEMO Health Network for your wellness exams, COVID and flu vaccinations, lab services, dental exams, counseling, and more. For more information, visit our website and let SEMO Health Network take care of you.
In football, every play starts with one goal: protect the ball. It takes strength, teamwork, and focus to keep it safe. At First State Bank and Trust, we protect what you worked hard for, your finances. With us, you'll have a team that's always alert, keeping your money safe from every angle, through every challenge. We're here to protect your finances, because at First State Bank and Trust, your financial security is our game plan. First State Bank and Trust. Strong, secure, trusted. Member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
We do things the right way, we do it honestly, and we do it well. We go to trial with confidence that in Southeast Missouri, when we work hard and we do a good job of presenting the case to the jury like we know we can do, justice will be done and the client will be taken care of. If you need someone to represent you at trial, call Cook Park Pet Ponder and Balls.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
We welcome you back to the Fieldhouse. Game number 2, night number 3 of this 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament. And a nice matchup tonight between the 9th-ranked Kennett Indians and the 6th-ranked New Madrid County Central Eagles. And Scott Cruz, you know, this is one of interesting, significant matchup for you as both head coaches had a history with. You coached the head coach for Kennett in Seth McBroom. Also had Dontre Jenkins as a student of yours back in New Madrid County. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I thought about this driving over. I feel old tonight. I feel older, I guess you'd say, but no. Both those young men were great point guards. They were coaches on the floor, leaders, and it's no surprise that they're fine head coaches. It's just going to be a great matchup. You've got New Madrid County, who's a team, ignore their record. They just don't even look at their record if you're playing them, because they're improving every game. They gave Jackson all they wanted the other night. Kennett upset Charleston. They don't go away. No lead safe with Kennett, and this is going to be a great, great battle.
And speaking of battle of point guards, you have a great battle of 2 point guards. Dyson Watson averaging roughly, 25 points a game here in this tournament. Meanwhile, for New Madrid County, Jaden Williams leading the charge, 12 of 37, but also, too, a very young New Madrid County team. Obviously, we know they've been a juggernaut, but, boy, they have the great opportunities to reload, and Coach Dontre Jenkins has the players in need to make it happen for him.
It just doesn't seem like a rebuilding year. Their record says it is. They've had a tough schedule early, but they really, watching them, I think they're going to have really nice success. They're freshmen. When you look out on the floor, if you're watching the game, you can't pick out who the freshmen are just by looking at them. And then, like you said, the old Watson kid for Kennett, just a real player, just a really, really good scorer.
Absolutely. The Indians coming in at 2-3 on the season. With a win over Charleston last night, and again earlier in the season with a win over Zenith Hornersville. Their starting lineup being introduced. You have Dyson Watson wearing number 3, number 4 Antonio Flakes, number 1 Ty Jones, number 24 Hayden Gilmore, number 34 Sire Thomas going to get the start for
Kennett. Meanwhile, for New Madrid County, Ramon Brooks wearing number 15. Jaden Guest-Newsom wearing number 20. Jaden Williams wearing number 24. Tice Palmer wearing number 30. And Marvion Cranford and wearing number 50. And our officials tonight, Tim Harmon, Jay Piles, and the franchise in Lloyd Rice.
Cranford seems like a real key to New Madrid County. Just a big kid inside, 6'4". He plays every bit of it, takes up some space. I'd like to watch how effective he is on the inside against these Kennett Indians.
And Kennett kind of going with a little bit of that 2-3 run. A quick, easy 3 on the way for Tice Palmer. And again, this is the team that has the most freshmen out of anybody in this tournament. 5 freshmen on the board for Coach Jenkins and company, and you'll see quite a few of them in action here tonight. Here's Thomas now lurking out the other way. Finds Gilmore for 3. In and out. Rebound back in the hands of Marvion Cranford. Again, a key component of those 2 very big state teams last year on the defensive front, too, mind you. Quick cut, easy to go in the hands of Ramon Brooks.
Yeah, and Palmer, number 30 for New Madrid County. He's a freshman. He has no fear. He guarded Jackson's best player the other night. He face guarded him all over the court, held him to about 4 points in the first half, and he's doing the same thing to Watson tonight.
Here's Williams throwing it up, can't get it. Answer right back in 1 from Marvion Cranford. Already 4 out of the 7 on the board for New Madrid County. Only picked up 9, we should say, in the loss against Jackson the other night. So we see Marvion Cranford just continuing to try to light it up, nearly matching his total in the loss against Jackson. And already the Eagles soaring high with an 8-0 lead here in the first. Here comes Watson now, crossing the timeline. Watson launches this one from long distance, could not get it to go. New Madrid County not wasting any time. Sets this over to Williams. Gets this one up. That's not able to answer. Now back in the hands of Ty Jones. Jones crossing up the timeline, moving quick, but runs right into a bit of a combination of Cranford and Brooks. And another easy up and in for Jaden Guest-Newsom. So New Madrid County starts on a 10-0 run here in the first minute 54 in this first quarter. And again, this team just picking up right where they left off, even on Monday night, we should say, with that strong second half.
Yeah, and you've got 2 programs. I mean, you've got a program that's coming off state titles. They've been around it. They know what that feels like. They kind of expect that. They want more of it. And you've got Kennett, who in the recent years have not had a lot of success. So, you know, it's just 2 different mindsets, I believe. New Madrid County's got some older kids that played roles on those teams, and Jim Riker and I were talking about how they may be a little inexperienced when you're talking about playing
when you're the guy.
That's right, and you got to be counted on now. So they're going to settle into that and get used to that.
And I think really if anybody's done a great job doing that, I got to say it's Cranford really just providing that big post presence and really just kind of help shape the offense around him, but getting Tice Palmer and Guest-Newsom to help out too. Whistle's going to be picked up in the meantime, of course, as we say that, on Cranford. So that'll be his first, team's first. But I mean, this is a team that, you know, it's going to take some time to gel, but I mean, the Riverbend tournament is always one of the toughest opening classics you can have. And see, not to say that the schedule gets any easier, but seeing how this team does a great job of forming around, great cut on the way from Gilmore to get it up and in. It just takes time. I mean, really, it just takes time to kind of find out what your secret sauce is.
I can tell you from coaching in New Madrid County, they could care less about their record. They could care less. They could go to state with 10 or 12 wins, and they're happy with that. And they really mean it when they say that.
Hayden Gilmore, however, going back-to-back. And again, Kennett going cardiac right now with 2 back-to-back buckets and just providing great opportunities to get on the board. Tice Palmer's going to pick up his first and the second team foul. And again, this is a Kennett team that we've seen battle back and really hanging tightly with a bunch of their opponents on the season thus far.
Yeah, a 6-point lead is nothing. A 10-point lead is nothing. If you're Kennett, you've come back from way more than that. So we've seen that this week several times.
We saw it last night in the win against Charleston, down by as many as 16. So nothing new for this Kennett team for sure. Cranford now to reset. Sets it out to Guest Newsom. He finds the easy off the glass and in. To make it a 7-point lead. 5 minutes left to go here in the first.
And again, if you'll notice, Palmer is not leaving Watson. It's a real frustration when you have someone in your face, even when you're out at half court. It's a real frustrating thing, and we're going to learn a lot about Watson tonight.
That we are, and just quite simply, too, just how quick can these teams move up and down the court? How can Kennett come back up and down the court so quickly after taking on a Charleston team that looks very similar to New Madrid? Quick shot up and in for Jaden Williams, because those running gun teams can wear anybody down, and if you got to play 2 back-to-back nights and you're not conditioned for it, could change things. Here's Jones. Jones lobs it up, can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Williams. Williams chasing out the other way. 14-5 the advantage of New Madrid County. We're just over halfway here in the first. That flies and goes a little out of play.
Foul the Indian, Sire Thomas. That's his second.
Sire Thomas already with 2 team fouls, was kind of the big post presence, but anytime you get that early on, that's not ideally what you want, especially if you have some of the taller guys can kind of reach over and get some quick jumpers. Here's the cut now on the way. Got it. Another triple from the sophomore. Jaden Guest Newsom already 7 points on the board of the Eagles 17.
I don't know if New Madrid's hit a contested shot yet. It's just cut, drive, and end up at the rim and lay it in.
They've done a great job of at least forcing that pressure and kind of tripped out a little bit as you see Ty Jones slow to get up for a moment. But I mean, again, credit to the Eagles for just moving quickly and really just kind of cutting apart that Kennett defense pretty well so far tonight. 17-5 the advantage here in the first. As the Eagles again trying to look for win number 1 on the season. And a nice quick cut on the way again from Marvion Cranford. And a call on the arm bar in the meantime going to go against the Eagles.
The Eagles, Tice Palmer.
Tice Palmer will pick up his second
Number 3.
and team foul number 3 in the meantime. So with 3:14 left to go, I mean, this feels like a textbook effort as it stands. And take a look at shooting for the Eagles. Only 1 missed shot overall, 8 of 9 at the moment. Again, nothing contested.
Nope, not much. I do think Kennett needs to just press the issue and go right at this pressure. I think they can draw fouls. Everyone's moving. That won't draw a foul. Just jumping up and fading away won't.
Right.
If you go strong into that kid, you're going to shoot 2 free throws, and I think that's something similar to what Dexter faced early on. Bluff was over pressuring almost, and New Madrid's a little bit that way right now. I think Kennett could find themselves picking up more fouls.
Absolutely. Again, just continuing to try to get into the big fella as much as you can. Here's the pass now on the way to Guest Newsom. Guest Newsom drives up to the left side. Little fancy handwork. My goodness. Jaden Guest Newsom, have a day, sir. Here comes Tyson Watson to answer right back in the meantime. And again, those quick cuts could make all the difference. Still a 14-point lead and advantage of NMCC.
Kennett's went through a 1-3-1, and it's affected New Madrid County the last couple of possessions.
Here's the quick shot up on the way. Can't get it out of the hands of Franklin. And still can't get it to go from Jones. Tries to go for the nice pick, but instead easily brought up from Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks at 6'6" did not care that the little guard was going to fade away.
He says, "Are you sure about that, sir?"
Yeah.
Well, the Eagles just continuing firing on all cylinders. Brooks now with 4 on the board and a 23-7 lead here in this opening period. Hayden Gilmore gets this one high. Finds Antonio Flakes. A great cut. Just going underneath. And Coach Dontre Jacobs wants to stop and think it over. The quick 30-second timeout, 1:39 remaining here in the first. Well, don't forget, want to catch up on everything in the world of Southeast Missouri sports? Join Drew and Dave, Andrew Moore and David Jenkins for SEMO Sports Zone, featuring all things sports, from local teams to college and professional. You can find new episodes every Monday morning and can be found on, well, wherever you get your podcasts and on the SEMO Sports Zone YouTube channel. Special edition going to be coming up on Monday, talking about obviously everything that happened this week, some of the other area matchups, and we're talking Christmas tournament, BCT that is, coming up on Monday. So a big episode, you don't want to miss that, of SEMO Sports Zone coming up on Monday. And you know, this is always kind of the busy week, and really with everything kind of running together this year, normally this is like a three-week gap, but now with this tournament finishing on Friday, you have the Clarkton tournament, which we'll have next week for you on the air, and then maybe a couple days off before you get ready for the BCT. December's arguably the juggernaut, and still trying to find the litmus test on where teams are actually going to stand as we move on to the season.
Yeah, we're learning a lot about a lot of these bigger schools, and then as you said, as these other tournaments pop up, we're going to learn a lot about all these teams.
Absolutely. Quick shot up from Dyson Watson. And the Indians now trying to claw back just a little bit. He's got 4 of their last 6. Another chance on the way, and an offensive foul. So well placed in time for number 23 for the Indians, and Gabe Checkins. Again, both teams, a lot of youth on their squads. Kennett with only 3 seniors. Eagles only with 6. Watson for 3, well short. Picked up.
Watson he doesn't have to do everything. I think he's going to end up doing everything, but by that I mean don't come down and just jack up threes. I mean, you know, you attack the basket's one thing, but to just force threes, don't do that. He's a nice player. He doesn't have to force the 3 with no rebounders in place.
No question. Kennett doing a great job of at least trying to continue to force the turnovers. As again, trying to push that out of play off the Eagles. 46.3 remaining left here in this first period. 23-11, an advantage of an MCC. But Kennett trying to find a little bit of extra momentum here. Here comes Tony Flakes now, crossing the timeline. The Madrid go with a little bit of man-to-man double-team trap. Flakes scooped up and saved by Dyson Watson. Watson settling up at the top. He's got the space on the left side, and the push going to go all the way in the meantime for New Madrid County. So Jaden Guest-Newsom's going to pick up his second. And now we'll see Dyson Watson again return to the line. And you want to talk about somebody who's had a tournament. This man has had a tournament thus far. 21 points in the loss against Dexter, going 8 for 20, but 8 of 14 all from the field, or 2-point field, we should say. And then put up 28 points last night, going 10 for 21. As he's already got 5 right now, so you do the math, 54 points for this gentleman. Currently, right now, more out of anybody in this tournament as it stands. Second shot's up and in. 10-point game, 23-13. Eagles likely going to try to go for maybe that one more shot, but they're moving awfully quickly to do so. 10 seconds, 9 seconds. Sets that back to Williams. Stolen away by Watson. Watson answering up, can't get it, but he'll have another chance to go to a line. The ball IQ for Dyson Watson cannot be denied.
Yeah, Kennett has New Madrid County right where they like teams, honestly, down 10, and then let's make a run. But it's until someone blows Kennett out, I'm going to expect them to just hang around.
Absolutely, and you're seeing exactly why they're hanging around right now in number 3, and Watson getting 5 of the last 6 Kennett points on the board. 5 of 5, really, we should say. And look to only continue to add it on here, and he does. 23-15, a long shot, but well short. Madrid County up by as many as 23-7. Kennett goes on an 8-0 run.
I feel like we've heard this before, haven't we? Back with the second in just a moment.
We do things the right way, we do it honestly, and we do it well. We go to trial with confidence that in Southeast Missouri, when we work hard and we do a good job of presenting the case to the jury like we know we can do, justice will be done and the client will be taken care of. If you need someone to represent you at trial, call Cook Parquette Ponder & Walls.
Welcome back. Kennett now trailing by 8, going on a 6-0 run, potentially an 8-0 run by our last count. And, you know, again, as we were talking during the break, you know, if Kennett can find a way to still really just kind of match the defensive pressure we've seen from the Eagles thus far, it's going to be a lot closer than people think tonight.
I mean, if Coach McBroom can get those boys to just learn and understand the value of each possession and stop giving up uncontested shots, it's going to make the game of basketball so much more fun for them.
Oh, no question, no question. And again, Dyson Watson, 3 points away from passing the 60-point club, first person to do that in the 2024 edition of this tournament.
And if you lined all the players on all the teams up, he might be the last one you would pick that you would say was capable of doing that, honestly, if you just looked at the stature of the young man.
No question. This man can compete with anybody and not afraid to do so either. Dishes this one out now to Gilmore. Gilmore looks up high, can't get it to roll. Rebounded back of the hands off Cranford. And so the Eagles, you got to think they might try to slow it down just a little bit here, just kind of get your composure back to normal and get some of those uncontested opportunities that put you in the lead to get this going.
Kennett a little confused about what defense they're in. They're not in, I think most of them were in a 1-3-1 and a couple of them were not.
It definitely looks like a little confusion if you were going to settle with maybe that 1-3-1, or are you going to go with the press, or are you going to go with the trap? Long story short, nobody knows, but we know that it will be a foul on the Indians, and will be picked up on Hayden Gilmore. So we'll see Marvion Cranford head to the line for the first time tonight. One of the additions of the team that's won 2 back-to-back state championships. And New Madrid County, Dontre Jenkins helping lead the charge for the Eagles for quite some time. And again, now with the new squad, a team that's really grown to be fully his at the end of the day and still fighting for their first win, but has had one of the toughest schedules out of anybody locally. Here's now Kennett quickly moving on the way, 23-15. Just a little more than a minute gone by here in the second. Here's Flakes. Flakes dishes out to Watson. Watson taking a little bit of time. A long 3 from Gilmore. That pinballs in and out. Gets the board in the meantime. Gets it now to Jones. A long 3 from Watson. Who else but number 3?
And what hustle for the offensive board that created that. They hustled, kick it out. He hits down a bomb, really. And they're back in that 1-3-1.
So a 5-point game, 23-18. Watson already with 11 on the board for Kennett. That'll be a reach up on the inside. Kind of going a little bit behind for Ty Jones.
Coach Jenkins putting 2 post players, 1 on each block against this 1-3-1, and that's going to leave that back man. That's going to leave him at a disadvantage. Ty Jones is only 5'10", and he ends up on one of those posts in that 1-3-1.
A long 3 on the way, falls short for Riley Harden. And now the Indians quickly shifting back the other way, 23-18, 6:07 left to go here in this second quarter. Final game of the night. The winner will have the first game Friday night, the appetizer, if you will. Meanwhile, for Kennett, you win or lose. Well, if you lose, guess who you get to play again? New Madrid County next week. If you win, you get a date with Poplar Bluff. The long story short, it's going to be interesting to see how these two teams are playing right now, how they're going to combat against each other next week, already getting that early game against each other.
And that game's at New Madrid County?
Yep, that is correct.
Yep.
Actually, I take that back. That is a Kennett's, mind you. So the whistle's going to be called, going to go against
nobody because it's jump, so Eagles going to maintain possession on that. I mean, taking a look at the home schedules for these teams. Again, Kennett having quite a few home games on the board, taking on, again, New Madrid County on the 17th, and then welcome Greenville and Jackson to start the year on the 1st, on the 7th, and the 10th, respectively. Eagles up by 5.
Now Kennett in a 2-3 zone, and again, I like the changing defenses. Nice move.
What can
Very
you say
smooth.
about Dyson Watson? And you mentioned, too, the changing defenses. I'm loving the shift from going to that quick 1-3-1
And now
to
they're
a
back.
2-3. And, here we are
Yep.
again, 1-3-1.
Yep. I just think when you're coaching against high school kids that changing the defenses, if you don't have a great point guard to recognize, a lot of times that's enough, and they get a 5-second call.
How about that? A quick 5-second cut against the Eagles, and this is a 3-point game. And seeing this as, seeing as Coach McBroom has implemented just changing defenses no matter where he's been the helm at, whether it been at Twin Rivers or even Holcomb well before that, he just finds a way to really read teams well and kind of find that Achilles heel early on. Now, when that defense is implemented, who the heck knows? Gets out to Franklin. Franklin sets over to Jones. Jones trying to lure on the escape. Jones, cross-court pass, finds Gilmore. Nearly bobbling out, gonna have to get out. Jones in trouble. Jones, 2 double-team pressure, spits it out. Gilmore for the tie, can't get it. But an offensive board again from Watson. Already 6 offensive boards for the Indians thus far. Still gonna stay on the other side as it bounces off Marvion Cranford.
And the thing Kennett's done now is they sustain that initial punch. They were down, 10 early, and now they just come up with an easy bucket.
Number 1 cuts it to 1.
They've settled into this game, and again, I think they've found a couple of defenses that are going to really give New Madrid more fits than their man-to-man.
Again, you got the plus sign, the 1-3-1 happening at the moment. Maybe a little bit of a shift, and it bounces off the knee of Palmer. It just feels like everything defensively is like a masterclass right now for Coach McBroom and company, as you can see on your screen.
Well, and the other thing it's done, New Madrid County has chose to battle or to attack this with 2 big post players. Well, that takes 1 athlete off the floor. That relieves some pressure in itself. So that helps this end of the floor as well.
It's going to flow out of play, nearly picked away by Jalen Williams, but Kennett going to continue to inbound the ball here. Bounce pass now to Watson. So they cross the timeline. Gets this out to go, 2-on-1.
Good choice. Good choice. Keep passing the ball. Keep working the ball. Don't be afraid to move the ball.
Again, really going with that 14 pass that's blocked away. Great pressure coming in from Ramon Brooks. Now brought up inside. Got it to go for Jaden Williams. The freshman making some noise. He's got 4 on the night. And a 3-point lead for NMCC. Now Kennett again, you got to expect that they're going to try to go with the passes, but New Madrid County kind of taking a little bit of notes there, switching up the defense around too. Watson spits it out to Franklin. Looks up over to Sire. That's well short, but positions well in time. Watson in and out. And set up again for Ramon Brooks. We can kind of hear Coach Dontre Jenkins say, go, go, go. I think they got to go for a little drive, push drive on this one. Because they saw that uncontested opportunity, too, for Tice Palmer, but couldn't get it to go. Now still a chance up front for Cranford. That won't go. Little pick and battle, but eventually getting it up for Ramon Brooks. So a great putback, and again, the offensive boards have kind of told the story more than anything for these 2 teams thus far. It falls in and out for Kennett. Lobbed high, no shot. It's going to stay on the floor in the armbar. Going to go against Kennett.
And if you watch Jaden Williams, he just finished that one after the whistle. But if you watch everything he does, whether it's on the defensive end or the offensive end, just picture him 3 years from now. He's going to be a great one.
My goodness.
He's going to be a great one.
Just this core of freshmen that Dontre Jenkins has ready to go is just quite outstanding. Here's Williams for 3.
Off to the left side, picked up from Watson. And now he'll slowly shift it up the other way. 2:19 left to go here in the second quarter. Watson gets it up to Gilmore. Great cut up the middle. And now just a one-possession game once more. 27-24. Quick little battle off the hand. Still going to stay with the Eagles. 27-24. Here's the inbound from Gus Newsom. Sets out for Brooks. And again to Jones. Jones looks out to Palmer. That is just bounces in. It looked like it was leaning a little to the right, but had a favorable bounce to double it up now, 30-24.
And again, he's guarding the other team's best player. He did it for Jackson when the kid was 6'6". And he's a freshman, so add him to the group of freshmen.
No question. You get him added into the equation, and that's going to make good things happen as Coach Jenkins will call a timeout, 30-26. Well, don't forget, Saturday morning, it will be the Bloomfield Christmas Tournament seating announcement show. Join Jim Riker, Bobby Alford, David Jenkins, and Andrew Moore. Those two coming from the SEMO Sports Zone podcast. And I will be parachuting in for part of that. That'll be coming up at 11 a.m. right here on Aycorp Sports. And you have to think, though, too, for those that are watching this game, coaches for that Bloomfield tournament, take note of really how Kennett has performed this week against their opponents. And that could maybe kind of change things around in terms of seeding for the Indians this week.
Yeah, I can't name a team that would look forward to playing Kennett in that tournament. I think they would be scary as can be. Again, I think they're going to be, I would guess they're going to be right behind Dexter wherever Dexter ends up. And and again, I think if Dexter and them played a whole bunch of time, it's the type of thing they might win 5 and lose 5 against Dexter. You just never know. They're going to be in every game, it seems.
Absolutely. And to be fair, those two teams have been more finals than anybody else, too. Wouldn't be surprised if it happened again. But Kennett wants to try to go to a consolation final here as that goes out of play.
Yeah, Coach Jenkins isn't happy either. We're talking about Kennett's defensive end a lot up here, but Coach Jenkins is not happy with his young squad and how they're giving up a lot of easy buckets as well. So it's just a growing pain. It's just what, it's what you get frustrated with when you've got a team that's learning and settling into themselves.
Gilmore now gets it out to Flakes. Flakes thought about going for it, but spits it back to find Gilmore in the meantime. 1:05 remaining here in the second. Spits that out to Watson. Watson lurks out to Franklin. Franklin on the attack, finds Jones. Jones looks now to Flakes. Flakes chasing, spits it again to Franklin. Loose ball, finds Gilmore. Bounces up and out. A little acrobatic take and fall for Zane Franklin. Now slow to get up, but back in play. Jump ball push going to go back to Kennett in the meantime with 37.4 remaining. As Zane Franklin just took a little bit of a bad fall, was slow to get up, but now back in play, just continuing to battle up for his team. With 30 seconds remaining, Watson got to drive up the timeline, fending off Jaden Williams. But finding the man off the floor and on the board, it's Zane Franklin. He gets his first 2 of the night. And you got to think the Eagles, just as we saw Monday night, you got to hold for that final opportunity. Here comes Williams. Williams, jumper for 3. Bang!
Jaden Williams for 3.
Jaden Williams continues to extend the lead for New Madrid County, but trying to fend off a very pesky Kennett team, 33-28. As we enter the halftime intermission. And again, does this tournament ever disappoint, Scott?
This is great. This is wonderful. It's so fun.
We are at the intermission, 33-28. New Madrid County leading by 5. Kennett trying to play spoiler for the second night in a row. When we come back, Andrew Moore has an interview with the head coach of the winning Poplar Bluff Mules tonight as they got the win over Dexter. So we'll have a conversation with William Durden coming up when you come back. You're watching the 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament here at Aycorp Sports.
Moore from Aycorp Sports. After a gritty win, head coach for Poplar Bluff, how's that feel for you?
It feels good. I mean, we played 4 games this year already, and all of our games have looked like that. And we're a little experience right now, and pull one out. Like, we could have very ended up folding like we did the other day, but I thought we executed a lot better this game.
Now, just kind of to address it a little bit, held Dexter pretty evenly throughout that first half. That second half, they kind of started to build it back up. What adjustments do you have to make in the fourth to kind of seal that win for you?
They started attacking the offensive board, and they went into a little press, and we got kind of frazzled because our point guard fouled out, and we had different matchups in there. But like I said, the kids were gritty, and they pulled one out, and games like this is going to make us better for the end of the year.
Now, going forward, you're going to have to face off either against New Madrid or Kennett. What kind of preparations are you making for those games?
Well, right now, at this part of the season, we got to worry about ourselves. We're making a lot of mental mistakes here. We need to clean all that up, and then, we'll just, whoever we play, we just play.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thanks.
All right, back to you guys.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today, and let's make your dream home a reality.
Life can be a little hectic when you're always in motion. Don't you wish you had a bank that could keep up? First State Community Bank's digital banking is the perfect companion for your fast-paced everyday life. Whether you're looking to review your full financial picture or just wanted a quick glance at your balance, First State Community Bank keeps you connected to your finances, all while juggling your daily activities. Download the app today and bank in motion with First State Community Bank's digital banking.
The best things in life never change. They just get better, like Hardee's Original Bag. Back and better than ever. Just $6.99. Mix and match any 2 full-size favorites. A juicy charbroiled double cheeseburger, melty hot ham and cheese sandwich, or crispy hand-breaded chicken tender wrap. Any 2 plus fries and a drink, all just $6.99. Hardee's Original Bag. Loaded with handcrafted goodness. It's the greatest meal deal for your buck.
Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Thank you. Thank you for letting us be a part of your family and for trusting us with the ones you love the most. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of those lifelong memories. Thank you for taking us on the job and for putting us to work. Thank you for choosing us for your first vehicle and for every vehicle after. Thank you for trusting us for 70 years.
Halftime here at the Fieldhouse and a little over halfway done here in the SEMO Conference Tournament. Joe Northern, Scott Cruz, 33-28, an advantage of New Madrid County. Kennett, however, trailed by as many as 13 points in this matchup thus far and has continued to really fight their way back. Your thoughts for what each team has to do in the second? Let's start with New Madrid County again. Had some troubles really responding to that 1-3-1. You got to think Coach Jenkins may have something up his sleeve to figure that out.
Yeah, you know, I'm anxious to see if he keeps the two bit. Well, one, I'm anxious to see if Kennett stays in the 1-3-1 or maybe mixes something up a little bit at the beginning of the quarter and only goes to the 1-3-1. But I want to see if it puts two big guys back on the court because I think that really does hurt New Madrid County Central's defense down here, having both those big post players, those slower guys in there. But I just keep looking at this game thinking Kennett is a huge underdog, and that makes me think I'm forgetting that New Madrid County is in a young, if not rebuilding year, close to a rebuilding year.
Absolutely.
And so this game, I would be scared to death if I was Coach Jenkins, knowing what Kennett's done this week and only being down 5. And again, my teams are giving up some easy buckets. So, both these coaches are earning their stipend. I'll just say that. I mean, in years
question.
like this, you got to coach so hard. You feel like you coach every move of every kid, every possession. There is no sitting down. There is no relaxing. And, these guys are earning their keep.
Absolutely. And again, just both teams that with long storied histories and yet with obviously some of the newer faces in the coaching realm. Obviously Jenkins being an assistant for so long too, keep in mind. But now providing at least a little bit of consistency in what Kennett's hoping also with Seth McBroom at the helm too. And you have to think though the future is going to be nothing but bright for these two teams moving forward. And we've seen glimpses of that here tonight. Yeah, if you've got the energy, and I ran out of that energy, but if you've got that energy, and I know Dontre does, and I think Seth does too, you got to be looking, at the pluses. You got to be looking optimistically at this season. It's one of those things where every loss isn't going to be a loss. And I don't like that mentality, but in years like this, you've got to have that. Just like New Madrid County and Jackson the other night, that's not a loss. That's not a loss. That was a huge performance, and again, they're over right now, but they're gonna crack a win here before long, and they're gonna find those more and more as the season goes on. Absolutely, it's kind of finding what makes you unique at the end of the day. And once you find that, I think that's going to make any team unstoppable, no matter which way you look at it. And really, too, just thinking about the entire field. Obviously, we know Sikeston is definitely a little further ahead than the rest of the pack of 8. I don't think there's any denying that. But I think the rest of the pack of 8, it's going to be like a case of alphabet soup this season on who can beat who on any given night.
I agree. There's an easy turnover right there to start the half. So let's just see.
I mean, Watson was waiting right there to take that up and get it ready to go. Flakes on the answer. Can't get it. Scooped back up and away from Jaden Guest-Newsom. Again, it's going to be a battle really between these two teams and just kind of more in a battle of wits, I feel like, too, of just,
changing up your defenses and just really, I feel like we're going to see a little run and gun to get things started, though, in this third quarter, just to see who's got the energy more than so than not.
Yeah, Kennett looked totally surprised that they got that quick turnover and kind of looked a little out of it.
Yeah, they're like, wait, what happened here?
And it's cost them because now they're digging a hole again, so let's see.
You're like, wait a second, what happened here at the moment?
Yep.
I beg your pardon. 36-28 advantage up New Madrid County. Watson gets it back. Now finds Jones. Jones over to Watson again. Watson on the breakaway. Finds Gilmore. Can't get it. Sets down for Sire. 2-on-1. He moved that foot just a little bit over. And it's 36-28, an advantage of NMCC. And I love what I see again from the post and Thomas. He's just got an uncanny ability to kind of read your defenses out a little bit more and kind of waiting on that spot, as you mentioned.
And McBroom goes back to a man-to-man, which they didn't have success with. And I really feel he's doing that knowing that he's going to go to the zone. It's just a matter of how long, and it may not be very long at all.
It may be very short. New Madrid County opening up the quarter with back-to-back threes. Here comes Watson on the way. Bobbles off the foot. Spits it out now to Flakes. Flakes gets it across now to Gilmore. Gilmore spins, shoots, can't get it in. Rebound back to Brooks.
This half starting exactly the way the game started.
Again, just New Madrid County opening up and Kennett going quickly to that man-to-man, but you got to think maybe a 1-3-1 could be upcoming. You kind of have to have a 1-3-1 if you want to slow down some of those larger guards at the end of the day. Again, current leading scorers right now, Dyson Watson, 15 on the board for Kennett. Jaden Williams with 10 on the board for the Eagles. Nice little floater coming in the hands of Tice Palmer. So the Eagles open up on an 8-0 run to start the third quarter. That's picked up now for Gilmore. Gilmore spins, shoots, can't get it up. Now a little double team pressure happening here. Here comes Williams again. Williams spits out, it is off the mark. And picked away again by Gabe Checkett. Checkett all on his own, can't get it. Did not have the reach. Here's Guest Newsom. Armbar going to go against New Madrid County, and I believe it's going to be against Jaden Guest Newsom as it stands, so make that his third. And team foul number 1. So if you're New Madrid County, having one of your really dominant guys that can try to force those turnovers with 3, not the best thing you want to hear right now. And make that another one on Tice Palmer and his third. So already multiple Eagles in foul trouble.
Now I'm telling you, Tice Palmer doesn't care. He is gritty and he is fearless. I watched him against what was New Madrid's or Jackson's big player, 6'6" guard.
Yeah, going against Deck. Yeah,
Deck. He was in his face. He held him to 4 points in the first half, and I just was very impressed that a freshman had that type of guts.
Absolutely. Here's the steal again from Williams. Williams cuts it up. That is off the mark. Battles in and out of play, but again, forcing the foul against Kennett. So again, a great move for New Madrid County and try to continue to extend the lead. Again, they're on an 8-0 run here in the first 2:46 in this third quarter, and one of the veterans on this team up front in Cranford, 6'4" senior. Already 9 boards on the evening for him, trying to continue to add on the point total as well.
I could be wrong, but I feel like Kennett's going to make a comeback at some point in this half.
It's happened before. I feel like we've seen this happen before, but I wouldn't rule out this New Madrid County team just continuing to bust the door open, especially if you can get the 2 quick threes to start off really any quarter. That feels like you get a little more offensive momentum, a little extra swagger in you just to kind of go for it. And if it's flying right, then there you go. That did not fly right, however, in the meantime. As Watson picks it up the other way. He's got to hurry and get it over. He's guarding 2-on-1. Quick cut, got it.
A nice three-man possession going from Watson to Gilmore, and Jones kind of the orchestrator in between the two.
And now we're going 1-3-1 for Kennett. Let's see how this affects everything.
Shot is up, and pinball's in and out. Brought up on the other side and in. Getting the offensive boards, too, is going to make that big difference. The Eagles already with 14 of them as it stands. Still a 13-point lead. Eagles on a 10-2 run to start this third quarter. Shot up from Flakes. That won't go. And the Eagles quickly cutting it up the other way. Loose ball up and off the mark. And a quick answer back coming from Marvion Cranford, and the foul had to be forced at the moment. So Kennett now already with 3 here in the third.
I think Coach McBroom would like to go back in the locker room and try this over again. They have not come out of halftime well at all.
Franklin already with his first personal foul of the evening. Kennett already with 3 here in the third. And a New Madrid County team that, despite not having too many fouls, they've had trouble at the free throw line tonight. 1 for 6 now. So again, if you're Kennett, at least if you foul somebody that's been having some trouble tonight. Second shot up and off the mark. Gets the own offensive board, answers back, and we'll do it again. So the foul's going to be picked up on St. Franklin, his second. And already Kennett 1 away from New Madrid going to the bonus. But Cranford again going back to the free throw line. But 0 for 2 on his last trip, 0 for 3 here. So you can see Coach Dontre Jenkins telling him to step up just a little bit. Second shot is up and off the mark. So Cranford going 0 for 4 on the trips. Kennett able to escape. Now here comes Flakes the other side. Flakes spits it up, got it. A quick cut on the way. Coach Seth McBroom takes the timeout. Again, despite the 2 trips to the free throw line, 0 for 4, the Indians in within 11. Back in a moment. This is the 2024 SEMO Conference Tournament on Aycorp Sports.
At Young Real Estate, we understand the importance of face-to-face interactions. Our experienced agents are here to listen to your needs and personalize your home buying or selling experience. But we also recognize the power of technology. Young Real Estate offers virtual showings, allowing you to explore properties from the comfort of your own home. Young Real Estate, where technology meets a personal touch. Your dreams, our expertise. Contact us today, and let's make your dream home a reality.
43-32 in advantage of New Madrid County. Kennett down by as many as 13, found their way within 1, but still been looking for their first lead of the game thus far. As a reminder, join us tomorrow night for championship semifinal night. We started with the pregame Nutrient Ag Solutions pregame report at 5:45, and we'll lead it off with Sikeston and Notre Dame at the 6 o'clock window. And then at 7:30, the Kings Highway Clash, I-55 rivalry. Whatever you wish to call it, it's Cape Central and Jackson. Following that at 7:30, first time those 2 teams will meet this season. They could potentially meet 3 times this season, with both teams getting the 1 and 2, vice versa, we should say, in the Southeast Missouri tournament, and of course your regular season schedule too. So always fun to see rivalries on both sides lock up here in this championship semifinals.
Oh, and Cape and Jackson just don't tend to like each other a lot.
I've heard that a few times. Here come the Eagles the other way, leading by 11, 3:43 left to go. And an offensive foul that you're going to get every time. But it felt like he kind of tripped a little bit, though, kind of in the back, and didn't mean to really push him down a bit.
Just out of control. You know, you got a big guy that put it on the floor, kind of made a move, made a good find on the pass, but he was just out of control and off balance. And 24 there took advantage of that.
As again, you know, everybody just sliding away here tonight, and just, again, a lot of intensity really just all week long that we've seen. As we mentioned, coming into this game, 6 out of the 7 games have been within 2 possessions or less. The only one being
Sikeston versus Dexter on Tuesday night, but again, it just shows the parity that's been going on, and a preview for a matchup that we'll see next week, potentially in Kennett, between these Eagles and Indians. That's a high turnover coming on the way from Williams. Williams tries to take it up on his own, and he gets an offensive in the meantime.
Gilmore is a tough, hard-nosed kid. He's mostly a baseball player. Coach McBroom's so glad that he, continued to play basketball, and I know that feeling from coaching back in the day. One of my very best players I coached was a baseball kid, and I had to live with that, and basketball was his second sport. But this Gilmore kid, 2 charges right in a row on 2 possessions, I love that.
He's just the guy who's not afraid to not only be there and ready to take those charges, but just be gritty in the meantime, too. He's got 9 on the night thus far. Here comes Watson now the other way. 3:31 remaining here in the third quarter. Eagles settling into a little bit of a zone match. And speaking of which, Gilmore trying to go for it, but he'll have a chance to go to the line in the meantime. And for the rest of the quarter, we thought that it was going to be the Eagles going to be heading bonus time. It is Kennett who will get it at first. And Gilmore now with an opportunity to try to cut this to 3 possessions here in the third, but won't so with that one. The first missed free throw of the night for Kennett. Went 5 for 5 to start this one. Second shot is up and off the mark. So 6 consecutive missed free throws, combining both trips here in this third quarter. Here's the quick run, but out of play. And a whistle going to get picked up on Kennett. We'll see who's going to get the credit for it. It is number 11 and Zane Franklin, already his third. So both teams in the bonus. And again, just the tale of make your free throws at the end of the day. And that'll very quickly decide who has a chance of trying to close this one off. But again, the Sikeston Gym, not the easiest to shoot in, I will say, though, for free throws. And the drought is over. 44-32 the advantage. Here's Gilmore. Gets it up, can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of the Eagles. 2-on-1 pressure clearly coming the other way. This is what's helped New Madrid County here in the second half. Just quickly driving, forcing Kennett to foul. Here comes Watson, open pasture, up and in.
Dyson Watson.
So Watson already 17 of the 34 for Kennett tonight. Eagles not wasting any time, and another turnover. That's the unfortunate turnover, we should say, of trying to go quickly up and out the other way. Gets it up, won't get the and one, but a chance to go to the line.
And we're down 10 if you're Kennett, and I believe they've got New Madrid once again right where they want them.
You can kind of see a little bit of a smirk going on from our vantage point, since we are near, I want to say just directly down where the Bulldog logo is. I'd say a little bit roughly to the right, but you get a vantage point of clearly everything that's going on from kind of a higher angle compared to being courtside. As you see, number 1, Ty Jones back at the line. Free throws have not been kind to either team here in this third quarter. Only 1 of 9 attempts have been made. Now make it to a 10. But the lead now trimmed down to a 3-possession game. 2:21 left here in quarter number 3. Cuts up now to find Brooks. Brooks settles down to Williams. Williams lurking for Gus Newsom. It's a little jumper, cannot get it to go. Here comes Gilmore, and he's going to hand it off to Jones and take a little less pressure off for Kennett. So they're trying to go into the rotation. Here's Checkett. Bounce pass to Watson. Watson letting the clock tick away just a little bit. being methodical at least and trying to find the open guy. It's Jones. Jones, triple team. Gets it, cannot get it in the hands of Flakes. Now here comes Williams the other way, up and in. And a timeout called by New Madrid County. Clock continuing to run. Now they stop it at 1:20 remaining. They'll get that reset. We'll step aside as well. Eagles up by 11 here in this consolation semifinal. Back in a moment here on Aycorp Sports. (46-35), 1:20 left to go here in this third quarter. Again, both teams in the bonus, but free throws have not been kind to really anybody. Again, only 2 of 10 in this third quarter as it stands. Kennett 6 of 9, New Madrid County 2 of 11. So again, just kind of one of those situations where free throws, you have to be selective on who you're trying to choose to foul, but not really anybody trying to capitalize on them as it stands.
Yeah, one strategy that Coach McBroom would keep in mind, I would think, on if this another comeback's going to happen, fouling New Madrid may be part of that strategy. Just put them on the line for people that aren't in foul trouble. Let them miss 2 free throws. That's one way to even maybe they make one. They didn't shoot the ball at the free throw line well at all against Jackson. They're shooting it horribly tonight. That's one way you could think about helping yourself come back against them.
No question, no question. The Eagles on the field shooting tonight, 19 for 37. Primarily buoyed, we should say, from a really good first and second quarter.
That's a good point.
46-35, 1:08 remaining here in the third. Gilmore has it. Gilmore trying to get past Cranford. Gets it out to find Checkett. Checkett sets over for Jones. Jones lurks back the other way. Spits it out to Flakes. Flakes, 2-on-1. 45 seconds left to go. Flakes cuts it up and in. Again, using a kiss off the glass. And Flakes now held to 6 as it stands here in this third quarter. 35 seconds remaining. The Eagles again trying to slow things down just a second. They're not going to go for the one. They find Cranford up front and an easy kiss off the glass in the meantime.
And that is a known way to attack a 1-3-1 is that hard diagonal pass, and it was open, and he got a real easy layup.
Again, having the guy up in the post, always going to win that. Watson answering right back with a jumper. Still a 9-point game. He's got 19 of the 39, 7 seconds. Kennett likely going to go for the last shot here, and they have to. 2 seconds, a long 3 off the rim, and that is how the third quarter comes to a close. So 48-39, the advantage. Both teams continuing to battle it out with each other as time continues to wane. Who knows what will happen in this fourth? Maybe another 2-possession game or less. We shall see. Back in a moment here at Aycorp Sports.
Agriculture is not a fad, and it's not for the faint of heart. Long days become long nights, sacrificing time away from your family, even on weekends, just so you can get the crop in and get the crop out. This is your way of life. At Farm Credit Southeast Missouri, we are 100% bought into your commitment. Because we are customer-owned, it is our mission to be your ag lender, and we intend to be your value-added partner for next year and the long term.
Your ag lender will always be there.
Take a look at the Eagles trying to find a way to get win number 1 on the season. Joe Northern and Scott Cruz with you. Because after this tournament, you have a game with Kennett, and then that's on the 17th. But by our counts is what we have right now. Not anything until January 6th at Portageville. And Scott, as you led the Eagles for a few years in the meantime, too, you talk about kind of the scheduling that this Eagles team has versus whenever you were at the Charge. What are some differences that you see?
Well, I was just interested because I coached groups after those runs in the early 2000s at the state tournament, and so the Riverbend was just a brutal way to start the season. Our football teams went late in the season, and then you I like their schedule. They picked up East Prairie. They picked up Hayti. They picked up Malden. I like some of their pickups. I like some of those, but they also still do some things other teams don't. The Nixa tournament. They go to Graves County, Marshall County Hoop Fest. They just go some places that schools that size typically don't.
And also keep in mind, too, Nixa is going to be one of the first tournaments in the state of Missouri that will have a shot clock in place coming up at the end of the month. So we'll be interested to see how that's going to go and how New Madrid County can adapt to it.
Interesting. You know, my concern there, Joe, is I don't know if you can find, and this, I don't know that I could do it, but I don't know that you can find someone in every gym in every town on every game night to run a shot clock. You see it on a pro game, you see it in college game, resetting it. It's not right. And, you know, football, you see the play clock. I worry about that. I just think it's a very complicated thing for the schools to administrate, you know.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think it may be a gradual process that we'll see over time. But, again, we'll just have to see how it's going to go. We'll get our first taste of it. New Madrid County, I should say, will get its first taste of it coming up in January. That's a shot from Gilmore. Gets that up and in. And the lead now cut down to 7. Gilmore really just riding some intensity here in the second half.
And now Kennett in a 2-2-1 three-quarter court press. Again, just one more different look that they can give New Madrid County.
Shot up, got it! A great little floater from Jaden Guess Newsom. He's got 14 now, leading the pack for New Madrid County.
And that young man's just a sophomore.
I mean, he's going to have a great couple of years running this New Madrid program. Flakes, easy to answer back in the meantime. Tony Flakes, who had the big near half-court shot to get Kennett a little bit of that extra spark to beat Charleston. Can they find the energy here? They got to try to force the 10, and a timeout will be called because they knew they were not going to get over the timeline in time to get that done. So a full timeout will be called. We'll step aside. 7-point game, 50-43, an advantage to the Eagles. Back after this.
Life can be a little hectic when you're always in motion. Don't you wish you had a bank that could keep up? First State Community Bank's digital banking is the perfect companion for your fast-paced everyday life. Whether you're looking to review your full financial picture or just wanted a quick glance at your balance, First State Community Bank keeps you connected to your finances, all while juggling your daily activities. Download the app today and bank in motion with First State Community Bank's digital banking.
50-43, the advantage. And again, you know, taking a look at just how interesting the schedules are, not just obviously for these two teams, but really any of these programs too. You don't get to see a lot of these teams at home. Sure, you do get to see Kennett a little bit more at home, New Madrid County a little bit more at home, but when you talk with some of the larger programs like Sikeston, outside of this tournament, they only have 5 home dates on the schedule this season. And of course, you built that around the tournaments, which I know that you've been a part of in the 2000s era of that. And even as you said, too, 3 easiest games of the schedule were a very good Dexter, Twin Rivers, and Scott City team.
Yeah, and Sikeston, and again, New Madrid with that last wave of runs, you got to build a schedule to prepare you for that. So, you know, and that's the price that, you know, I guess your kids and your fans kind of, you know, pay.
Absolutely, absolutely. 6:04 left to go. Double team pressure, but no problem for Ramon Brooks. Make it a 9-point game, 52-43. Less than 6 minutes left to go. Watson thought about going for it, didn't. Gilmore wants to go for it, can't get it. And the Eagles now going to have to quickly move up the other way. A little bit of a battle as Thomas gets on top of it, bobbles it and loses it. Possession arrow is going to go to the Eagles. Oh, and that's a kick in the head. Unintentional, it looks like. Unintentional.
He didn't mean to, and he let number 40 know. He let him know immediately.
Yeah,
and I
saw
like
the
seeing
pad.
that.
Love that. Love that.
I like seeing that.
And you can see too. They're like, "Hey, man, sorry about that." That's what you love to see. That's what you love to see.
Both hustling really hard, but you know, definitely not intentional.
So 52-43,
and that's how it needs to be.
Absolutely. Sportsmanship, 1 million. 5:30 left to go. Here's Newsom. Can't get it off the mark. Rebound back from English. Watson gets his hands on it, but loses it in the meantime. He had a little bit of a quick touch coming in from Jaden Williams. And now the Eagles just completely running full court pressure. And one! As the fist pump comes from Jay Piles. Jaden Guest Newsom again, just continuing to add up on the board. He's got 16 on the night. And really just this great group of underclassmen is going to be something special, I think, in the years to come. 55-43. Kennett now quickly going the other way. Here's Jones. Spits it out to Gilmore. Gilmore, cross court, finds Jones again. Now down low to Gilmore. Looks up to Flakes, jumps, shoots, scores.
Great shot fake, great fundamental sound shot fake, stayed balanced, and then went right up into that chin, and that's what you want to do.
Didn't waste too much time doing that in the interim, but was patient though, and looking to get that up.
And Kennett's last two possessions, they've passed the ball really well. There's been a lot of possessions tonight where it's been one person dribbling and one person shooting, and the last two possessions, they really looked for each other.
Absolutely. Not the quick pop-a shot than what we've seen. So a 9-point game, 55-46, 4:55 left to go here in the fourth.
Back to our 1-3-1.
Cranford brings it over. No surprise we're back in the 1-3-1 either. Gets that down low, stolen away from Jones. Bobbles it out in the air. And now back in the hands of Kennett. Really just some wild ball handling skills at the moment as everybody's just trying to clobber over everybody at the moment. 4:26 left to go. Watson now. Give it up on the right side, throws it up, can't get it. Cranford was waiting for it, ready to go. And now the Eagles going to try to slow things up, maybe just for the moment. So go back to the 1-3. Gets it down low again to Cranford. Bounce low, up and off the mark. Great second chance bucket from Ramon Brooks.
Yeah, you got two big guys in now, and then your third guy, Brooks, who isn't big, he's just tall and long at 6'6". That's a lot of height on the back end of that 1-3-1.
No question, and again, if you want to have like the big bulk and you have the height, I think that's going to be a recipe for success to at least try to close this out. Here's a chance up front, can't get it. Rebound back in the hands of Ramon Brooks. And a quick opportunity, give and go up front. Jaden Williams, the freshman, 14 on the night. And it's a 13-point lead again for New Madrid County. Here's Watson. Bounce pass to Gilmore. Gilmore, jumper. Won't get it. Back over to Flakes. He won't get it in the meantime. That sets down to Marvion Cranford. Cranford down to Williams. Easy give and go it in. So the fast break pressure, New Madrid County has found maybe the secret sauce in trying to get ahead of long defensive teams such as Kennett. Back in 30 seconds here on Aycorp Sports.
At Focus Bank, we understand your community because it's our community too. With branches across Southeast Missouri and Northeast Arkansas, Focus Bank offers services such as fraud protection, really free checking, and mobile banking that lets you bank simply and securely, anytime, anywhere. Stop by any of our branches or visit us online to open an account today. Plus, you'll receive an awesome free gift just from opening your really free checking account. And when you refer someone who opens an account, you'll both receive a gift. Focus Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Got the Williams kid here. And
we're back, 61-46, 3:01 remaining. Don't forget, coming up after the game, it's Nutrient Ag Solutions post-game report. Scott and I will have our 3 stars of the game and take a quick look into the action tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, it will be our championship semifinals featuring Sikeston and Notre Dame. That'll be our first game at 6. We go on the air at 5:45. And then right after that, Jackson and Cape Central at 7:30. And again, you know, a lot of great action of what we've seen here in this consolation semifinals. When you start thinking about your 3 stars, a lot of interesting players that could make that cut. Meanwhile, for Kennett, it just seems as if they've had some struggles just trying to respond to the quick full court pressure
of Dontre Jenkins' full court press. Here's Flakes. Sets it out to Gilmore. Gilmore, bounce pass over to Jones. Jones sets out to Gilmore. Gilmore again to Jones, top of the arc, 2:43 remaining. 15-point game and advantage of NMCC. That is batted out and out of play.
You really feel like if Kennett can't get a bucket here these next couple of trips down, that that's just going to
seal it, yeah.
demoralize them enough with this lead that New Madrid County Central has.
Absolutely, but you also got to think too, just this is kind of the full court pressure of what we've seen from a Dontre Jenkins-led squad of finding your big guys up front and just continuing to slow things down and really just kind of get your guys to run out of gas, which it seems as if we've about hit that point with Kennett at the moment. 63-46, 2:11 left to go. Armbar going to be reached in. So again, barring any other wild circumstances in the last 2 minutes and 11 seconds, this sets up for a pretty interesting matchup coming up on Friday night as these Eagles will be taking on Poplar Bluff here in the early window at 5:30. And again, could be very defensive heavy, but if you're New Madrid County, you may have to look at that as could be a favorable matchup just of how able you're able to quickly run up the floor and have, again, 4 guys in double figures too. The lockup by Watson, but a foul going to be called.
Yeah, it sure seems like it'll be an even matchup, you know, and another close game. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. New Madrid, I may be biased a little bit. I just love, you know, the fact that New Madrid County's so young and just got so many promising players, and they play hard. They respect their coach the way they do, and I really like that. But I think Poplar Bluff played hard as well. I mean, so I don't see why it won't be a great game.
Absolutely not. It's just, you know, when the games continue to get larger as we move across this bracket and move across this tournament, it's going to be very interesting to see how these teams progress even beyond next week too, because the only way to go is up.
Yep.
Only way to go is up at the end of the day. Foul's going to be on Brooks in his first.
I do think New Madrid County's deeper than Poplar Bluff from what I saw, you know, and you've got Edmondson on the Mules, who just I just wonder how good they are if he's not on the floor.
Absolutely. I mean, you have him as just kind of being the glue. And now, to be fair, Brendan and Sandy Durden just continuing to really light it up on shooting. I mean, they've always been just consistently. Well, Brendan's been consistently performing well. Sandy, his first year on the varsity squad, too. So that may be the matchup we'll be looking at coming up on Friday night. Kennett, it'll be deja vu all over again next week as they'll be headed down to New Madrid County. As Dontre Jenkins will take the full timeout, we'll just go ahead and keep it right here in the last minute 22. And again, just taking a look at these teams' upcoming slates for Kennett. Yes, you do take on New Madrid County, and guess what? You get to go to Charleston on the 20th. So it's literally it's like Groundhog Day currently for Coach McBroom and company for. In reverse order, we should say, of getting Charleston last night and winning, and New Madrid tonight. And then next week you have New Madrid and Charleston, vice versa.
Yeah, you really look at that schedule, you know, and again, in a year where you're trying to build something, you just don't see a lot of easy wins, you know, and that's tough, and that can be demoralizing, you know. But again, you're going to have to go into this knowing that some losses are going to have to be considered wins, you know. If you play hard, you battle, you compete.
Absolutely, absolutely. Meanwhile, for New Madrid County, they'll look to get their first win of the season, but as you mentioned, it doesn't matter about the wins. It's about when you win at the end of the day. And this is a program that just quite simply has a lot of optimism coming their way and had a little bit of a sluggish run kind of midway through the matchup, but found a way to really turn on the Jets here in this fourth quarter.
Yep, and I did mean it. They would laugh at teams that bragged about a real stellar record. They would just laugh at those teams, and they would talk about one of the years, Tipler, and they were just a little over 500 and came home with the state championship, you know, as sophomores. And that's just an attitude that, you know, they schedule around and they're okay with.
And it's certainly served this program well, no question. So going to try to go a little bit of the keep-away method as Coach McBroom's going to have some substitutes coming in the last minute 3 here in this one. As Checkett's coming in. Charles Perry going to be getting some playing time, and Colby Boone. So 2 of the freshmen going to get some playing time here in the last 1:03 here in this one as Watson and Gilmore and Frakes will be headed back, or excuse me, Jones, I should say. So the Eagles, again, just passing, going to play a little bit of keep away right now. And just hanging on to the ball and maybe looking for an opportunity to drive up. That goes to Cranford. Now sets back again for Williams. Down over to Brooks. You can hear it from a mile away. Hold it from Coach Dontre Jenkins. Sets it up top. Brought back the other way. Now finding Jaden Guest-Newsom. Spits it out to Jaden Williams. 18 seconds remaining. He's trying to go for the fast court. Brooks now 10 seconds, just going to hang on and hold this one out, but the Eagles going to get their first win of this 2024-2025 campaign as they take care of business over Kennett, 64-48, and quite simply just a great evening for quite a few players that I feel like we're going to be seeing a lot more in the future. Obviously, we will on Friday night, there's no question. But your thoughts before we go to our 3 stars tonight?
Just another great night. Just another great night. You got, 4 teams. They all played really, really hard. And if you're a fan of high school basketball, it's fun to watch. It's been a joy to, get excited about this again and see all this young talent out here, especially when you're looking at New Madrid County.
Absolutely. Your 3 stars of the night, who you got?
Well, Edmondson from Poplar Bluff, again, if you're going to pull out that win and you are the glue, he just seemed to be that important to that team. Those other kids, they didn't really have anyone stand out, and I don't know that he stood out other than just being the floor general. And then you got the Williams kid here from New Madrid County Central for a freshman. He kind of runs their show. He's just solid, and he's strong, and he attacks the basket. And then Jaden Guest-Newsom was the other kid. He's just a sophomore, but he had, 19 points at one time, I guess. He finished up with 19, and, he just a real nice 1-2 punch for those guards.
Absolutely. My 3 stars of the evening, I still have to give it again to Dyson Watson, 19 points on the board for Kennett, and he's just going to continue to be a force for this team. I really like what I saw again from Ramon Brooks, though, kind of being a sneakily getting a double-double, we should say. 10 and 12 on the evening for New Madrid County. And my other star, again, I got to give it continually to John Sepulveda, though. He's done a great job of at least continuing to right the pressure here for Dexter as they'll head the court next week. So your final score in game number 2, 64-48. The Eagles will take on Poplar Bluff Friday night in the Consolation Championship. Don't forget, we'll join you right back here tomorrow night at 5:45 p.m. with the Nutrient Ag Solutions pregame report. I'll be joined at the booth. It'll be just me, but back in the booth, it'll be Jim Riker and David Jenkins. We'll have the call for those 2. Scott, it's been fun. It was also great to see the Scott Cruz Bowl, we should say, too, with former students
that was
players.
A gift. That was a joy. That was a joy. 2 good guys, and, I can tell they love their kids. They're very passionate, and great coach. Great young coaches, I'll call them.
Absolutely, absolutely. We will see you down the road, good sir, and we will see all of you tomorrow night back from the Fieldhouse for Scott Cruz and Andrew Moore. Joe Northern saying so long from the Fieldhouse, where New Madrid County and Poplar Bluff will play another game on Friday. So long.
That was a blast.
That was awesome.